action trading. SPY strikers. This one for the traders learning structure. Price action lessons. Candles. Price action lessons. Check it. Every candle got a story if you know how to read it. Bullish engulfing me, momentum undefeated. Long wick rejection means the buyers got defeated. Market giveth opportunity, but emotion mistreated. Green candle strong with the body fully closed. It means conviction in the move and momentum still growing. But tiny body candles means the market indecisive. That's why patience in the game become your biggest investment. Hammer as support. Could reverse from the bottom. Shooting star. Rap resistance better watch if they dropping. Its sidebars tighten up before expansion get popping. Price action first, solar indicator, secondary options. See beginners chase indicators looking for salvation, but the candles tell the truth before confirmation. Every chart got with them like a conversation. Learn the language of the market through observation. Price action lessons.
Study candles every night.
Support and resistance.
To help you navigate the fight.
VWAP holding strong.
EMA trend align.
Technical analysis.
Help the structure of your mind.
Price action lessons.
Every setup got a clue.
Market moving pattern.
If you study what they do.
Structure over noise.
That's a message every day.
Smart action trading teach you how to read the play.
Now support like the floor where the buyers defend. Resistance like a ceiling where the sellers descend. When resistance breaks strong, it can turn into support. That's the market shifting gears while the weak lose composure. Everybody wanna enter on the middle of the range. When the money made best, when the levels get engaged. Patience at the zones while the market turn pages. Cause random entries usually produce random trades. Previous day highs, yeah, them levels important. Same with overnight lows where the pressure start building. Supply and demand zones got the whole market pivoting. That's why disciplined traders stay observant, not emotional. Trend line support hold means momentum intact. Break down below structure mean you better step back. Cause technical analysis ain't predicting exact. Cause probabilities and discipline combined on the map.
Price action lessons.
Study candles every night.
Support and resistance.
Help you navigate the fight.
VWAP hold the song.
EMA trend align.
Technical analysis.
Help the structure of your mind.
Price action lessons.
Every setup got a clue.
Market moving pattern.
If you study what they do.
Structure over noise.
That's the message every day.
Smart action trading teach you how to read the play.
V's the WAP like gravity, institutions respected. Price above VWAP, usually bullish direction. Price below weak sellers, lightly aggressive. That's why traders watch the line for intraday perspective. Via months, smooth the movement, help identify trends. 9 EMA fast while the 20 defends. Stack EMAs, bullish means momentum extend. Cost below better, tighten risk management again. See indicators, tools, not the source of the decision. Price action still king when you analyze conditions. Confluence, what matter, multiple confirmations. That's how professional traders avoid random positions. Volume spike breakouts means attention increase. Low volume fake news usually quick to retweet. That's why technical analysis deeper than a team. You study market structure till the patterns repeat. Coming. Say that. Aligning with the structure of the chart. Every level tell a story if you study with your heart. Price action, patience, discipline, execution. That's the difference between trading and emotional confusion. Yeah. Technical analysis, basics. Smart action trading. SPY strikers. Study the structure. Protect the capital. Master the process. Trade safe. Trade smart. And dominate.
Yeah. Smart action on the boards tonight. SPY strikers in the building. We're gonna take it back to the roots. Options 101, but make it rhythm.
Option scenario. Option scenario. Learn the game before the candle stereo. Calls and puts, spreads and barriers. Freaks in the shadows trying to marry up. Option scenario. Premium burn can embarrass you.
Trade with a plan, don't gamble, warrior.
Price action first before hysteria.
Yeah. Monday morning, market look alive.
Young trader Joe trying to learn how to survive.
Open his app, seen green and red flicker.
Hard options meant getting rich quicker.
OG stepped in like, slow down, son.
This ain't lottery tickets.
It's chestnut luck.
He said a call means you're bullish on price.
You
6 stock going up.
Then call Sound Eye.
Buy one contract.
That's 100 shares.
But theta eat alive if you
Unprepared.
Joe said.
So a bit means price gon' fall.
OG nodded slowly like
Yeah, that's all.
calls for the upside.
Good for the try.
But timing and volatility.
Control the clock.
Hey.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
IV spikes can terrify ya.
One bad trade.
Can simplify ya.
Discipline the only thing qualify ya.
Then the room got smoky. Jazz got low. Charts on the screen started moving slow. OG drew symbols on a legal pad. Said these freaks turn good. Trades bad.
Never tell how fast.
Option move.
Near 1.0.
Then let me stop cool.
Better.
That's time to
Top of the morning, traders, and happy Friday, June 5th, and welcome to the most value pack live trading show, where we live trade, breakdown, charts, cover high impact events, and talk trader mindset. Hope everyone had a great day yesterday, is ready to kick off another opportunity filled day. Keep in mind, guys, today's Friday, ramp down Friday, size down. If you're done for the week, be done. Play defense all day today. The free trade Friday link is available in our free Discord. So if you're on YouTube, you want to get a preview of what we do every single day, the delay-free, ad-free experience. Make sure to click the link pinned in the chat. Join the free Discord. No strings attached, and the link is posted in the trader feed there. All right, so as we open up, guys, what happened yesterday stays yesterday. What happened today stays in today. If you're looking to trade, mark out your levels off the open. Let the market digest the data. We did have three major catalysts, red folder catalysts this morning, as it pertains to the unemployment numbers or employment numbers. Okay, so let the market digest the data off the open, and let's look to have a great trading day. So as you're coming in, guys, smash the like button. So far, another gap down. So how many gap downs has it been, guys? How many gap downs has it been? Every day it's been a gap down. A pre-existing position where I do have Palantir puts. Okay, we're starting to see a dead cat bounce. Okay, same usual suspects. Tesla pushing to the upside. And Palantir puts. See if it starts to work in my favor. Okay, another gap down. How many gap downs this week, guys? How many gap downs this week? So in May, there weren't too many gap downs. So now June, we're seeing some gap downs. And how are we responding to these gap downs? So make sure you track that stat. Apple for the call trigger, see if it continues to push. If we can hold above that territory. So that's a pretty big gap. Okay. Pretty big gap here. As we approach the jaws of the gap, we have a couple of levels to pay attention to. Good morning, guys. Amazon, out the gate. Tesla, out the gate hot. Meta, out the gate hot. See if these Palantir runners can do something. Okay, SPY's back in the jaws of that gap. So we've given up that weekly level once again, team. We've given up that weekly level once again. So as long as we close below here by the end of the day, the Bears have finally won a week. All right, it's a close game. I'll go as far as to say it's tied 2-2. Okay, it's tied 2-2. The series is tied 2-2. The Bears have the lead. Okay. And if they can get that close below this box up there, okay, they finally won a week. They've been getting blown out in the past few weeks. Every day, every week is a 5-game series. Every week is a 5-game series. All right, think of it like that. Okay. We're starting to see some activity on the Qs. Qs are trying to get back above that VWAP. See if they continue. Apple. Ripping and running, okay. A call trigger on Apple already triggered. If you took Apple to the upside, if you do trade before that 9:45 window, Apple is a beautiful candidate to the upside. SPY is working its way into the jaws of that gap. Okay, SPY is starting to work that way. We're starting to see Intel. Intel continues to push. Intel's pushing to the downside. Palantir starting to bounce off that daily downside breaker. Did see some appreciation there, but I want to see a complete breakdown. If we can get that, that'd be great. So Apple has some strength here. Apple has some strength. Apple has some strength. Okay, SPY's within the jaws of that gap. So we're paying attention to this major level on SPY, guys. That major level being that daily downside breaker. Prior day's lows are right here. So interesting thing with the Qs are below prior day's lows. So if they can't recapture that, guys, right, and they can't recapture VWAP, it's going to be very difficult for the tech names to start to make a run. So that's gonna give us some insight. So that primary level you want to pay attention to. If we're going to see a buy back up in the tech name that sold off, right, you want to see the Qs get above 732.62. All right. Outside of that, everything is just a nice little dead cat bounce off those lows. Can a dead cat bounce lead to a reversal? Yes, of course it can, but does every dead cat bounce become a reversal? No. Right? So if you're looking for that confirmation to the upside, look for that reclaim of that daily downside breaker. Right? As you're coming in on YouTube, guys, make sure to smash the like button on YouTube. Let's get the likes up. I want to do the giveaway. We haven't done the giveaway in June so far. All I ask is for you to smash the like button. Let's get to 100 likes before 10:30, and then we can get that done. So right now we have about 140 people joining us live. It is Free Trade Friday, so the link to the delay-free ad-free stream is available. The link is pinned up top. All right, so make sure to click that link, join the free tier, and you'll have access to it. Oh, is the screen frozen? Okay, give me 1 second, guys, on YouTube. Okay, how are we looking now? How are we looking now, guys? How are we looking now on YouTube? Give me a thumbs up if the screen is good now. Should be good now. Thanks for the heads up. Okay, SPY and the Qs are headed towards the lows of the day. The Dow, interestingly, as well, is headed towards the lows of the day. So the Dow is leading the way, who was large and in charge this morning in pre-market. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And may God bless each and every one of you and your family, health, and economy. May you have gratitude for George and smash the like button. Appreciate it, Fishman, as always the first one. Speaking life into the chat. We do appreciate you every single day. Good morning, Vanus. Good morning, Yoda. Good morning, G County. Good morning, top of the day. Yeah, 100% hero. Family is a priority, 100%. And it's hard to juggle all of it. So it's hard to juggle those things and then start to trade and all that. So it's very difficult to do it. So when you're not in the right mind state, trading is not the best thing to do. Okay, good. SPY is headed towards that daily downside breaker. All the major indexes are near the lows of the day. The Dow is actually leading the way to the downside. The Dow was actually the one that was in the lead in pre-market, was above that daily upside breaker. So it still has the most amount of relative strength in relation to those levels, right? But it is seeing that sell-off as well. So SPY is quickly approaching that daily downside breaker, prior day's lows. If we get a clean close, continued sell-off below there, right? We do have ultra bearish case, guys. We do have that weekly downside breaker all the way here, all right? And if we can knock that out, okay, the bears have won or have passed the test with flying colors. It's still early in the day, so anything can take place. It's really too hard to call it in the first 8 minutes of the day, but that's what the bears need to do here. Okay, so Tesla starting to push the downside, guys. Tesla starting to push the downside from the idea this morning. Keep a close eye on Tesla for the puts. Apple already went. If you're waiting until 9:45, if you're waiting until 9:45 a.m. Eastern, continue to wait. So Tesla's a candidate for the puts. See if you can slice and dice right through PML. Apple candidate for the calls above that daily upside breaker after going inside. So that 15-minute candle is looking to, what kind of candle is on the 15, guys? What kind of candle is this on the 15? All right, if we can slice and dice right under there, we can start to rock and roll. If you took the 5-minute orb, your break level is right there. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, Tesla puts. If you took the Tesla puts, just be mindful of that pre-market low right there. You're going to target that pre-market low initially. I can't see our chat. Give me 1 second. Good morning, everyone on in Discord. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Turbo. Good morning, Mr. Texas. Reyes, Carlos. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy ramp down Friday. Free trade Friday. Okay, Google. Does Google have a day 2 in it? Does Google have a day 2 continuation type of setup? Apple is the one that's continued to push the upside. I do like Apple because it did break that consolidation on the daily. So Apple, if it can hold this territory right there between that daily upside breaker and that PMH, Apple has some room to push into that 315 whole number psychological level. So critical level here on SPY. Does it break? If you're using that 15-minute candle, look at the 15-minute candle, bearish engulfing. All you need to see is just break the base, broad market sell-off, and it can start to slide. We're about 5 minutes away from that shockwave window. Qs are starting to get nice little relief pop. So far, all of the 4 indexes are, all the 3 big ones are below the PML. They're below their pre-market low level, and no buyers have stepped in yet. There's no evidence of buyers stepping in yet, right? We just sliced right under that. So now we're going to pay attention to who wants to reclaim that level first or who wants to go back and retest it. If there are sufficient buyers from where we are to that territory there. There goes Tesla. Tesla for the puts. Tesla's flying. Tesla's printing. Turn the printer on for Tesla. Qs falling off a cliff. You compare the Qs and Tesla really nicely together. If you're in those puts, see if you can get that PML to hold the downside, all right? And you can really start to milk those runners. Palantir, see Palantir can crack the downside here. I still like Palantir as the downside. Okay, so we're starting to break down here. Okay, good breakdown. Synchronized selling. All 4 of the indexes are selling off. There goes Tesla. So Tesla's a candidate. Okay, Palantir is up 25. Now on Palantir, continue to dump. This is a pre-existing position, some runners. See if you can stay below that PML. Stay below there. Palantir. Stay below that PML. Look at this, guys. Anyone take that breakdown below that daily downside breaker? If you did, you're laughing to the bank. Okay, Palantir is starting to go as well. I want Palantir to stay below that daily open. That's all. That's all I ask it to do. Stay below that daily open. And give me a reason to close out. All right, so if we can respectively slice and dice through that PML, we're going to continue to sell off here on Palantir unless we get some kind of news catalyst on Palantir and it decides to get picked up. Everything is selling off here, guys. So we did get some red folder catalyst. All right, so all 4 of the major indexes are on the same page. Okay, Tesla puts printing. Microsoft, that was also an idea from this morning. Okay, see if Palantir can continue to go. Anyone riding puts on SPY? If you took this breakdown here, okay, you're doing great. Right? Remember, this has room for that weekly downside breaker. Stay below PML on Tesla on Palantir. Up close to 50%. Look at this. Who's in the puts? So this is coming directly from the game plan. It's coming from directly from the game plan. So new 5 minute, 15 minute candle coming up in a couple of minutes. A minute some change. Interestingly enough, Google still has strength. Wait, open runway here. So main thing is you don't want to chase. You don't want to chase it right there. Right, you want to see some kind of relief pop to the upside. Tesla, those puts are looking interesting. The 410s, you can go with the 405s if you want as well. Tesla's looking like it wants to hammer here. Google is going the opposite way. So all Google needs at this point is if we start to catch a nice little bounce off those lows, right? If we start to get a broad market bounce, Google can start to fly. Okay, so if you're taking shockwave right there, right, you're in the middle of the jaws of that area. If you can get that retrace reject, that'd be great. Keep a close eye on that. Shockwave time is here. Google for the calls. Keep a close eye on Google calls. Right. If we start to course correct, SPY. See if everything can start to trigger to the downside, guys. So we want to see everything trigger to the downside. So the same thing continue. Qs continue. SPY continue. Dow continue. Everything continue to the downside. That's going to further lead to that sell-off. Down goes Microsoft. Nvidia is brewing. Down goes Tesla. So if you took the breakdown on SPY here, that continued breakdown via shockwave, manage accordingly. You have room into this territory right there. Okay. Down goes SPY. So that, see if I can get a nice, same thing, reclaim entry. Right, as it pursues that last little piece to the downside, we are approaching this bounce zone, so again, things can start to get a little bit shaky. All right, but no signs of buyers on the 15, no signs of buyers on the 5, no signs of buyers on the 1. Okay, there goes SPY. See if IW wants to be a late candidate to join the party for the puts. Looking at the 287s. So they're trying. So if everything starts to bounce off those lows simultaneously, the Google calls can come into play. All right, Google calls can come into play, 375s. If we continue to sell off, hold off on Google. Still in Palantir runners here. Okay, my exit on Palantir is okay. Don't reclaim my 15-minute candles open. The Qs, guys, look at the Qs. The Qs are aggressively selling off. Tesla continues to push to the downside. Amazon coming into play. So even if you take SPY is starting to dump. See if we can get that continued push lower. Look at Tesla, guys. Tesla is, wow, phenomenal. Tesla. Everything is dropping. How we doing, team? How we doing? Out, SPY puts, beautiful job. Beautiful job, Palantir. Beautiful. So Palantir also provide those puts. Okay, the only one bouncing on the 5, guys, is the Dow. Everything else on the 5 still showing some signs of selling pressure, especially the Qs. Qs continue to sell off. SPY's teetering. Palantir up 70. See if that continue to push. You hear all those alerts? Okay, now guess who's coming into play? Walmart's coming into play. Keep a close eye on Walmart. Guess who's coming into play? Walmart. If you took SPY puts here, manage accordingly. Right, that provides you a nice little scalp to the downside. We have a new 5-minute candle coming up in less than 30 seconds, about 30 seconds or so. Palantir, go to the floor. Palantir up 89%, 94. All right, this trade came late day yesterday, and is a high risk trade. So it was a scalp, and I just held the runner. It was the Friday contracts. See if that continued push. But if you did take Palantir via shockwave, you're still there for the win. So it did provide a shockwave opportunity as well. Scale out on SPY, guys. Scale out on SPY. My shock wavers. 92% here on Palantir. See if we get 100 out of this. Okay, 102%. To give you context, that's about $80 per con. I'll close it right there. So I'm done with Palantir. All right, about 98% for a good overnight hold, and then now let's get back to business. So even if you took Palantir from there, guys, via shockwave, you did well. If you took Tesla via shockwave, you're doing great. Keeping a close eye on Google to the upside. If we start to course correct here, retrace reject on SPY, possibly looming as well. Okay, Apple. Right, so if SPY and all of the indexes start to push back the upside, IWM broke down beautifully. SPY gave you that scale out. Tesla, give me that retrace reject. How are we doing so far, guys? How are we doing so far, team? How's our friend Walmart doing? Yeah, let's hit the like button, guys. Smash the like button. We'll do a giveaway. So it's in your best interest to like the video. We're live every single day. So there is an incentive to like it. On top of the free content already, there is incentive to like it. 85% SPY puts, 35% IWM. So IWM, beautiful breakdown as well. Yesterday. So yeah, that was after the stream yesterday. So I scalped Palantir and then held those runners overnight. And I'll explain the rationale on Palantir. Let us get out of first shift and I'll explain the rationale. Let us get out of first shift. Because there might be another opportunity here. SPY, retrace, reject. I want to see the same kind of entry model here, guys. Right, give me that dead cat bounce. Fall back under it. Count me in. If you're done for the week, guys, whatever you caught just here, guys, if you caught any of those names, you can be done for the week. Apple is trying to push the upside. Nvidia is looking like it wants to break down. If we take another leg lower, the dead cat bounce does come into play. Keep a close eye on Apple, on Nvidia to the downside for the puts. Palantir continues to go to the downside. Okay, so if you have shockwave, you can take advantage of Palantir. Even today, right? You can see Palantir's chart just from shockwave. Forget about the entry yesterday. Just for shockwave now, right? You can see it's about to go to target now right there. So you take the puts. Any kind of relief pop here, legitimate relief pop. If we do start to reverse off those lows, buyers are stepping on the down. I have my eye on Google. Okay, because Google, while we're selling off, okay, look at the logic. While we're selling off, Google is still above VWAP. Now, if we get buyers that pick up the entire market, they're going to start to go to Google immediately. Okay, down goes Meta. Down goes Meta. If you're shorted Meta via shockwave, be mindful of that PML. If you can clear that PML, you'll be good to go. You'll be good to go. For Google, if that does come into play, I'm looking at the 375s. 375s on Google. Everything sold off aggressively, guys. When in doubt, zoom out, or after a trade, take a quick pause, take a breather. So this is the retrace reject from this morning. So in pre-market, we discussed this. This is one of the primary scenarios, and we come into here. So it's very difficult for me to short right here, right? The opportunities from here to here, right? Because we can see some buyers, even if it's a dead cat bounce, try to drive price higher between this territory. So you see how that played out very quickly. Okay. So scale out on SPY. All right, that gave you that opportunity. Down goes Meta. Down goes Meta. Down goes Microsoft. Amazon about to go down as well. Meta falling off a cliff. All right, everyone is waiting for that flag on SPY. You can see that flag trying to brew. I want that structural break. All right, dip into that territory, dip into that golden box. What I want to see is the entry model we've been using. Get into this area and then break down. I'm not going to front run here. All right. So everything is catching a relief pop off those lows. If you took this breakdown right there, that was the opportunity to that downside. If you're waiting for another structural breakdown on the one, you can see we're getting jumbled up on those EMAs. We're starting to push into those EMAs. Okay, if this is a legit push, I'm keeping an eye on Google to the upside. All right, I'm keeping a close eye on Google to the upside for the calls. Ticker symbol GOOGL. So I'm looking for names that have pre-existing strength. So I'll keep a close eye on that. Because when this 15-minute candle is said and done, if it goes 2 down, 2 up, Google will be the candidate. So Google's on a day 2 continuation. What that means is the previous day, that particular name made a push to the upside. And then now it's looking to make another push, day 2 continuation. And Shockwave is a great way to play day 2 continuations. So this Google trade there's of course a catalyst that we do need. I'll keep a close eye on NVIDIA for the put to the downside. All right, do your due diligence there. Okay. Again, of course, we need the market to start to push a little bit to the upside. But if Google starts to break, we have room to that 372, and then eventually that daily upside breaker, and that push continues. All right, so a little dead cat bounce, right? Dead cat bounce. We're starting to slice the downside, and guess what breaks? NVIDIA breaks. All right, so NVIDIA breaks the downside on that dead cat bounce as we're approaching the lows of the day. On SPY, we're at the lows of the day on the Qs. All right, so if you're an NVIDIA, manage accordingly. Palantir, if you can give me that retest, count me in. I don't mind getting that reclaim breakdown on those names. So it is Friday, guys. On Fridays, you want to look to ramp down. Ramp down, okay? Ramp down. Protect yourself from yourself. Smash the like button, guys. We have 180 plus people tuning in this morning. Let us know you're joining from your first time viewer. First time viewers, put a 1 in the chat. Long time viewers, put the 2s in the chat. Beautiful job. Coming right into that territory, right? So it's very difficult to short right there at support until proven otherwise, right? If you're gonna go short in support, you wanna fade the pops. 85% Firefly. That's a 5 minute breakdown. Firefly, beautiful job, guys. Even if you took this, right? It's doing its job. Okay, Shockwave is doing his job. It's carrying the load. Palantir. 1, welcome. Welcome, Bush. Welcome, Yoda. All right, NVIDIA's falling off a cliff, right? So we said that if we get that structural breakdown here, NVIDIA will we get that dead cat bounce, NVIDIA will break down for the puts. If we get that continued push to the upside, Google will break out for the calls. So what takes place? We get that breakdown. Guess who triggers? NVIDIA triggers, and NVIDIA is falling off a cliff. So TP1 hit. If you do have this indicator, TP1 hit. So now, all right, we are really starting to get an aggressive sell-off. The reason why I say that now, we're approaching this weekly downside breaker. All right, this is legit. The reason why I say that again is because if we take this level out, I want you to go to the higher time frame, the weekly time frame, and tell me what you see. Okay, in the event that we take out 748.20, that weekly downside breaker, okay, I want you to go to the weekly time frame and tell me what kind of candle you see. Okay, let us break it and tell me what kind of candle you see. Is it a bullish candle? Is it a bearish candle? Is it an indecisive candle? Or is it an extremely bullish candle or an extremely bearish candle? Because that's what's on the line at this current moment. TP1 hit on Palantir as well. Welcome back, 2018. Yep, IWM falling off a cliff as well. IWM was the one that was inside. Thank you for the heads up, Lynn. There through the grapevine, there are going to be 3 rate hikes. Ooh. Oh, what's the source, Richie? Drop the source in the chat. 3. That's a complete change in tone. Here we go, guys. SPY. SPY. If you took SPY via Shockwave 15, all right, you're done for the day. You are done for the day. Amazon coming into play as well. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Microsoft falling off a cliff. So I'm just looking for seconds here. All right, I'm looking for relief pop back to some levels and some seconds. If it continues to dump, I'm going to look for some trend continuation setups. Meta, good night. SPY, that's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous chart. Okay. Walmart to the upside. So Walmart was on watch yesterday. And guess what, guys? VIX is starting to get towards that 17. Okay. So now you have an idea of what's going on. All right, so now you can start to see what's happening across the market without you jumping back and forth a bunch of charts. You understand the bigger picture, and it takes a long time to understand the bigger picture and how the market works. When this moves, why this moves. When that moves, why this doesn't move. And buyers are trying to rally off this key level. All right, because if they give that up, guys, if they give that up, look at this. If they give that up, so there's no buying until we get to this level. If they give that up, we have an engulfing candle. So what are they going to do? They're going to protect it with their life. Look, off of our key level. So this one candle is the size of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. It's no coincidence, guys. It's no coincidence. So if you take profit, good. If you don't take profit, the market will. Beautiful job, Andrew. $8 to $45. Monster return. Only an option. That's why you gotta love options, guys. Options. There's nothing like it. I know it gets a bad rap, but there's nothing like it out there. There's nothing like it. 8 to 45. Good, good, good. Walmart, let me get some Walmart contracts ready. It is a dead cat bounce. Walmart contracts. June 5th. If we go next Friday. The 123s. Where's Walmart at right now? 120. You can go with the 121s. They're not going to be as volatile. I'm looking at the 123s on Walmart, so I can kind of just sit through it a little bit throughout the day. Okay, so Walmart come back via shockwave, dead upside breaker retest. Our usual suspects are falling off a cliff, guys. Outside of Google, who's holding on. So in the event that we get a reversal back the upside, all right, we're still trending to the downside. Okay, Google is a candidate to ride. All right, as long as it stays above that VWAP. Walmart, I like how we're dumping to the downside. Walmart, if you understand that sentiment, right, if you know what to look for when something is going a certain way, right, that's what the training is all about. Walmart is coming into play. Now, Walmart is direction above yesterday's highs. Walmart come back and retest prior day's highs, or come back and retest shockwave, right, count me in. All right, so we can play it. We can use Walmart as a proxy. Okay, if you don't have a horse in the race in this dump, you can use Walmart as a proxy to capitalize off this rotation. All right, so the question now becomes, is this bounce legit? We still have to go back to that 9 EMA, retest that. We're starting to see the Dow get bought up, so that's actually good news for Walmart. Okay. IWM coming into play a little bit as well. That 9 and that put trigger coming into play, possibly. So the one that's bouncing off those lows is. So what is the bear's way out of here? How can they manufacture a path back to? What pattern can they manufacture a path back to VWAP? All right. So what reversal pattern can they try to manufacture here? And what are the boxes they need to check in order to fulfill that pattern? And it has to do with this low and it has to do with that low. See Walmart can continue to come to the downside. That would be great. Nvidia, the last one to fall off a cliff. Okay. I think the Broadcom earnings put this stop to the party. You guys are watching the level 2 time and sale. All right, so as you're watching price, I want you to watch level 2 and time and sale on YouTube. You can see starting to speed up in certain areas. Down goes Apple. Apple might go full circle. So when I say full circle, I'm referring to shockwave. It means it takes out one side and takes out the other side as well. That's what I mean by full circle. So the names that fell off a cliff, wait for those 9 EMA retests. Okay, look for shooters. Look for 9 EMA plus key level. So you got to drill these things into your mind. This already played out here. All right, so nice little sell-off to kick things off. What's the bull's response? If they're going to mount something back the upside, maybe a unicorn formation, or at least a 15-minute reversal, 2 candlestick combination. Because if they can't hold below here, team, right, we have a lot of room to drop. Look at this. How many touches of this area have we seen? We gapped up, okay, on May 22nd of May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8 touches. 8 touches. This is the last line of defense. Okay, we have that what? Psychological level there. What psychological level is there? 750. This is the last line of defense. So they're going to do everything they can to try to rally off this. Let me get back to Google. See if Google can come to play. Nvidia's starting to rally here. And we did get the structural break. We have room back to this area. That 15-minute candle, we're starting to see some buyers protect that 750. We need to clear some of those EMAs. Okay, now, where are we mounting a rally off of? 750 weekly downside breaker. So if you took the puts, this is your window. This is what the market is willing to give you. Can you catch this whole piece? Maybe. What's the likelihood? Very low. Maybe you take your small piece here, right between there. If you wait for a shockwave, your piece is here. You can take it at scale out, right here, or you can take it at TP1. And you can see if runners can push into that area, but you have to respect that level. We have to respect these levels. Okay, these are the areas on the chart where I would say at this point, you must have. Okay, I'm keeping a close eye on Google if they try to mount a push to the upside. All right, that's my proxy. See if I continue to push on Goog. Give me some confirmation here, Goog. Just a little bit of confirmation. Show me some signs of life on that hold. If you took a Goog off VWAP, good. Inverse head and shoulder off VWAP, you're in good shape. Give me a nice hold right there, Goog. That would be good to go. Risk on Goog if I do decide to take it is all the way down here. Okay, the risk is set by shockwave. So now on SPY, pivotal point here, because now do we go to retrace, reject off this territory, or do we just blast past it, continue to push the upside? Goog, give me a nice close here. Give me some signs of life that we're not triple topping there and slide at the downside. Okay. 9 EMA test here as well. 9 EMA test here as well. Look at the 9 EMA shooters, guys. Look at the shooters off the 9 EMAs on SPY and the Qs. Now what I want on this end is just a little bit of a deeper retracement than a breakdown. Come back into the jaws a little bit deeper. That 15-minute, we're seeing some bars on that 15-minute pushing price higher. This is our first test of that 9. First test of that 9. I always have to give that 9 a little bit more credit. Okay, if all the indexes, all the big three have a shooter off of it, you can go 5 for 5 off those lows. Okay, we're starting to reject once again. Back to the downside we go. So unless we take these lower lows out, okay, unless we take out these lows, all right, we're trying to mount to push back the upside. We've got a structural shift. The structure has shifted. The trend is still intact to the downside, but the structure on the lower time has shifted. Okay, Apple candidate for that full circle. How we doing, strikers? How we doing, guys? 280%. That's Sancho's puts. He had them. He was early on the puts. He talked about it early this week. Beautiful job, 2 puts. Meta hit TP. Beautiful job. Nvidia 30%. Beautiful job. Firefly holding 1 runner. Beautiful, good stop out. Done. Good. Who's done for the week, guys? Who's done for the week? All right, so this week is foreshadowing what to expect for the rest of the month, what to expect into the month of July. All right, so being patient. There's a lot of key takeaways. There's a lot of adjustments you can make. All right, but it's one thing for me to tell you, but it's another thing for you to experience it in real time. All right, because now you have a feel for it. You have the feel for the speed. There's only so many ways I can say it. Now you have a feel for the speed. You have an idea of how things are moving. So over the weekend, make the proper adjustment. So the trend is still bearish, but the structure has shifted. I'm keeping a close eye on Google. Before we jump into any trade, what's the first thing you want to look for? Define your risk. Define your risk. Our risk is down there. So in the event SPY goes slow grind reversal, okay, IWM starting to push back the upside. See if Google can give me a nice hold above that area. Okay, I want us to be a legitimate break and hold on Google. Right. So all Google needs to do is clear this PMH. If SPY can continue to push the upside, Google clears this PMH. We have room to 374. 373.24. Give me a nice little hold there. I'm just trying to clear out that is resistance up there on Google. So I don't mind paying a little bit extra. So on Google, what you're doing on Google, guys, is you're looking to buy high to sell higher. You're not buying low. There's only two ways you can capitalize opportunities. Buy low, sell high, or buy high, sell higher. Buy something that's expensive, all right, and buy it at a higher price, or buy something that's cheap and buy it at a higher price. What is the invalidation marker? You buy something cheap. It looks cheap. You buy it. If it doesn't work in your favor, it becomes cheaper. You got to get rid of it. Okay. If you buy something that's overpriced, but it doesn't go in your favorable direction, then you get rid of it as well. Just give me a nice little pull in that area. I'll take Google calls right there. I'm in the Google calls. Ticker symbol GOOGL. All right, my risk is all the way down there. SPY, if SPY wants to reverse, that'd be great for Google. Okay, so first intraday trade of the day. So this type of trade, you have to have market awareness. Market awareness is going to kind of help you find these type of trades. So initial target is 372 on Google. If you did take Google to the upside, manage accordingly. Okay. Before you take any trades, know this for educational purposes only, guys. It's not financial advice. Before you jump into any trades, make sure your risk is defined. All right. So Google, let's see if Google can continue to push instead of looking at all that noise on the 1. Let me jump over to the 5. Okay, look for your entry on the 1. 1 is right. Jump over to the 5. Okay. Google's headed towards that PMH, up 12%, up 16, up 14, up 17. Okay, I'm going to take a majority off right there on Google at 17, filled at 18. My first TP is at PMH. All right. I have to respect that PMH. All right. So 18% there on Google in less than 2 minutes. Thank you very much, Google. And now I'm going to hold runners. Invalidation marker on the runners. It's going to be near that entry. Okay. And now I want SPY to continue to grind higher. If SPY can continue to grind higher, Google's on its way to 373.24. All right. So respect that PMH initially. That's my first TP. I got to respect that. I can't turn down that 18 as much as I want to. Not respect it, but I got to take that, guys. Whenever you see those double digits in a matter of a couple of seconds, it's good to take some off. See if we can hold above that 9 at least. Google is going back the other way. Look how quick that was on Google. Look at that rejection off that PMH. All right, see if the runners can recover here. They're down. Runners are down. But I do like that TP here at that PMH. I have to respect that PMH, all right? So let it sort itself out here. You know what? I'm going to put the stop at the midpoint of this wave. All right, so midpoint of the wave. We'll give it a chance. If it starts to collapse, guys, if SPY starts to collapse back to downside, I like SPY for the puts. Okay, we take advantage of Google quickly. If SPY continues to push, look at this 15. All right, look at this 15. So this morning, the scenarios, push into this area. Okay, don't go short in this area unless you have overwhelming evidence, because more than likely, they're going to try to drive this thing back higher. Okay, so those are the two opportunities. All right, so SPY, nice reversal on SPY in the 15. Test of VWAP. SPY is back at VWAP. Q are trying to get back to VWAP. Google's actually sliding to the downside now. Google, if I get it closed back below this area. Okay, back in this area. I did reduce the risk a little bit from its original area. Then I'll close up. But that PMH rejection was just massive. Look at that. Now Google wants to dump. I'll give it to this area. So no close below this midpoint. If I'm looking to go short SPY, I want a nice reclaim of that shockwave back to the downside. That will signify that rejection off that VWAP was legit. All right. SPY is testing VWAP. The Dow is testing VWAP. IWM is testing VWAP. So this is a critical test for all those names. If that VWAP test goes south, 9 test on PLTR. If the VWAP test goes south, okay, I'm there for the breakdown on SPY. Now Google's falling off a cliff now. So good TP. I'd like Google to get his act together, but I can't give it too much room. SPY, the 750 puts. We had that complete breakdown. So no close below here for Google. All right, no close below there for Google. Nvidia is starting to push back the upside. Now look at SPY, guys. Look at that bounce on SPY off those levels. So a lot of names are starting to retest some of those areas. So Google's rejection of that PMH was massive rejection of that PMH. Okay. If I get that close below that level, I get stopped out on those runners. If SPY starts to slide back the downside, count me in for the 750 puts. Okay, Google, I got to close runners there. SPY, so stopped out on the runners, couldn't go anywhere. So I'm happy I did take the majority off at that PMH. But I don't want to hold it all the way back to VWAP. That can possibly be up to a 60-70% stop. So I had to close out on those runners. SPY, if SPY starts to slide back the downside, count me in. Double dip on Nvidia. Okay, because now that's that VWAP rejection. SPY. Okay, so you get a nice little push to the downside. Risk being up here. Because we're testing that VWAP. So the Dow already tested VWAP is going south. The Qs are testing VWAP, they're inside. Okay, see if SPY can get back below that level, get that trigger. I reclaim back the downside, count me in 750 puts. And you're still in Google, it's trying to course correct, all right? Manage accordingly. If it's still within your stop, see if SPY can start to slide to the downside. Give it a nice little slide. Decisive slide. Go, go, go. Look at the Dow's reaction off that VWAP. Going south. Want a nice break below there. That reclaim entry, 750 puts on SPY. Google is going the other way. All right. So I did get a little shaken out there on those runners. I'm going to take SPY right there. Couldn't get that fill. Let me try again. Just see if you can just wick a little bit. I'll take it. If you took SPY right there, beautiful job. Couldn't get me filled there. That was a nice drop. If you did take SPY, manage accordingly. All right, I'm going to need that little pop and drop. Okay. Sometimes those fills can be frustrating. If you did take it right here, manage accordingly. Give me a nice little pop to the upside. Of course, if you're in it, you don't want to see a pop. You want to see a slice and dice. But if I can get that re-entry, just give me a nice little pop back to the upside. And count me in. Just a little bit more. Try to see if I can get that push into that 750.02 area. Keep in mind that 750 is right there. All right, so we're really playing with that 750 psychological level. Okay, get that nice one push to 750. Go, 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 go. A little bit. One more little push. One more just tiny little push. I might have to take it off that 750. Because this thing could be ready to slide to the downside. All right, I wanted this entry. makes a difference. At least for me, it makes a difference. Right? Because if I have the entry here, I have to move my stop lower. Okay, one little push. One tiny little push. That's a 20-cent difference. One little push. Get above 750, peak above it, and fall back under it. Count me in. If you did take this already, guys, manage accordingly. All right. Okay, Amazon is starting to go the other way. Amazon is starting to reverse. PLTR. Looks like Google and SPY are going the opposite way now. Tesla already hit TP1. Tesla just continues to fall off a cliff. Let's see if it can come back. So missed entry there. Couldn't get filled. There's still a possibility. And come back into play. Because look at this, guys. Synchronized rejection across the board. Right? That's what we're playing. It might be gone. Yeah. Because this right here, this appreciation right here, is already 60 cents. Okay. It's already 60 cents. So it's already, has already left the station. All right. There, that was a nice entry. It happens. Sometimes you can't get filled. I know it's frustrating, but if you did get filled, good. But I might have plan B. Okay, plan B. IWM. Okay, if you took that scale out, strikers, if you caught that, that will alleviate some of the FOMO that I'm experiencing at the moment. But again, you can see Shotgraph comes back into play. IW might be plan B here, but IW I need you to get back a little bit higher because IW is the laggard here. So this is already down. This is massive, guys. This should be at least 20+% a dollar. Actually, more than 20%. All right. And you want to take that if you took that, dollar signs in the chat. So first trade of the day. If we continue to dump, Amazon come back into play as well. Okay, so I have a couple of alternatives. Okay, it's not. Instead of chasing, I do have some alternatives. Okay, I'm seeing the same setup on these names as well. So let me get that ready as well. Amazon puts. Those puts. Let's get those ready. Okay, that drop might be the trade of the day. That might be the trade of the day. Because it puts you in a great position to play that breakdown below weekly downside breaker. So by the time you get to that area, you're already in profit. All right, with those runners. You can play this break with profit, okay, if it gets into this area with runners. TP1 already hit, so again, manage accordingly. I'm looking at the 250s on Amazon. All right, if it wants to join the party. So look for those dead cat bounces, retrace rejects. Okay, so we're very close to this right here. Look at this. Everything's headed back to the downside. IW, even the IW is headed back to the downside. Synchronized selling. So I'm looking for Amazon to join the party to the downside. Microsoft already fell off a cliff. Walmart pushing to the upside. There's an opportunity there. Okay, Starbucks pushing to the upside. MU falling off a cliff there. Did get that relief pop starting to slide. Intel sliding. AMD sliding as well, headed towards the lows of the day. So this might be our attempt at the lows of the day, guys. So when we get to the lows of the day, All right, it's very difficult to short it there. Why? It already fell off a cliff, and we do have buyers that stepped up there, so be aware of that double bottom. If this was your entry to catch this here, you're already in position. All right, whether you scalped out of it and you left some runners, or if you don't want to touch it at all. Excuse me. Okay, so as long as we stay below 750, there's a good chance we get to that 754, 748. We give you the exact level, 748.20. Okay, so you can see the importance of those key levels. Okay, Amazon, I'm getting locked and loaded for Amazon. So we did call this trade out, just couldn't get that fill. So Amazon, but that's not gonna lead me to rush my entry though. It's gonna lead me to do the exact same thing. So let's see if Amazon can continue to slide. SPY has a little more room to slide. Amazon, go, go, go. So TP1 hit on SPY. So the 2R has already been hit, guys. I increased my TP here to 4R. That's why it looks like that. But if you have it 2 to 1, it's right there. This is 4. This is a 4 to 1. Amazon, give me that slide. Okay, so I had that TP. We're trying to bounce there. New 5-minute candle, new 10-minute, and then new shift here as well. So we're shifting here. So first shift is officially in the books. So first shift took 2 trades. One was a pre-existing trade with runners or Palantir, able to TP at 95%. And we did take Google to the upside for a quick scalp into that PMH for about 18, and then got stopped out with those runners for upwards of 30%. All right, so Google was the only trade that I took intraday between the open and where we are now, and this was the setup here on Google. All right, the idea was, of course, as SPY showing strength, Google already has that pre-existing strength, and I want to take it to that PMH. So that this yielded that 18% that I was looking for. Took a majority there, and then now I gave it a little bit of room, a little bit of wiggle room, not too much into this territory. And then those runners got stopped right there. Okay, so that's the only trade intraday. Okay, so now look at SPY, right? SPY bouncing off that TP level once again. Who's done for the day, guys? If you're done for the day during first shift, tremendous job. It's been a long week. It hasn't been an easy week, but again, this is the pace at which the market's going to move. It's going to require your focus. It's going to require your diligence. It's going to require you to bring your best foot forward every single day. Right? You got to play defense. You got to take profits accordingly. You have to make sure you don't overtrade. So in these coming months, in these coming weeks, okay, you have to be sharp. The market will punish sloppy trading. All right, so that leads us right into the weekend, guys. Weekend is a great time for us to recalibrate. Okay, get some rest, fuel back up, and do the same thing next week. All right, so first shift is vision in the books. If it comes back into play, right, I want the same exact entry model as this. Get above it and fall under it like this. This entry model we've been discussing the past few weeks now. Okay, I want that model. We're going back to that 750. So keep a close eye on that. And this, our friend Tesla is trying to make a push off those lows. Trying to make a push off those lows. Wait, look at that 5-minute candle. Look at that hammer on Tesla. It's a picture perfect hammer. Picture perfect hammer. If IW starts to slide back to downside, back below that area, reclaim it to the downside, IWM 287 puts. At least the good thing is if you didn't take those trades, the more time passes, those contracts get cheaper. Okay. Looking for Amazon as well to the downside. If we get one leg lower, back to the downside. All right, so if we just clear out these drawings just for a second here. Okay, so you can see the areas to participate. 1, 2, and we're not saying that after the fact. All right, hindsight doesn't do anyone any good. But let's clear some of these drawings out. All right, just to give you some context where we are. So we're below that daily downside breaker prior day's lows. We took out that weekly upside breaker last week's highs. Okay, we took out last week's highs and we're below the midpoint of last week. And we came in and tested the lowest point we've reached last week. So we were on the verge of going engulfing candle. That weekly candle still looks bearish here on the weekly. All right. But the objective for the bulls to neutralize that push is at least try to get price by the end of the day. Still early, guys. Try to get price to close above that 50% retrace the weekly. So that weekly candle could at least be a little bit of a doji. Right? If they want to take back the week, if they want a massive wick under that weekly candle, by the end of the day, that they need to close price above that monthly weekly open. Right? The bulls had it right there. They had it right there, and they just blew the lead. And now we're starting to build a little bit of structure. We have a low, we have a higher low, we have a high, we have a high. See if we see the next high that comes in, knocks out that high. You see the back and forth. We're going back for that VWAP. So we tested VWAP 10 minutes ago. We're going back to that VWAP for that test for the second time. This is true on SPY and the Qs, very close to VWAP. SPY and IW, very close to VWAP. And IW is right at VWAP, so keep a close eye on that. And the Qs are trying to get back to VWAP. So we've reclaimed that 750. Make this a little bit lighter. So it looks like this is probably the path. Right? The buyers refuse. This buy zone, they refuse. Although it's getting a little sticky, they refuse. They're not going to give that up without a fight. They're not going to give that up without a fight. Okay. Okay, Apple. Apple is starting to go to the upside. Apple come back in. Okay, see if we can get that same setup once again. Same setup under that level. Okay, let's get that same setup. Get back under there. Ideally, if it gets a little bit higher and comes back in, that'd be great. But even if it doesn't do that, I will take it to the downside if it breaks back below that level for the second attempt at the same setup. All right, because the reason was this was the higher high. We haven't had that higher high yet, but I'll still take it. If we can get that push lower. PLTR is bouncing off those lows coming back into play. PLTR, keep a close eye. Double dip opportunity on PLTR. VWAP test across the board. SPY is testing VWAP. Qs are about to test VWAP. IWM is above VWAP, right? But it's been above VWAP previously for 5 minutes. So see if we can hold above VWAP for 10 minutes, right? So the small caps is the first one above VWAP. See if you can hold. SPY is right at VWAP. Qs are headed towards VWAP. And the Dow is headed towards VWAP as well. So give me this break back below here. Count me in. Amazon. Anyone catch Amazon? That was a beautiful break. Shenanigans. Do we get some shenanigans here? Beautiful break on Amazon. If you waited for that and caught it, beautiful job, guys. The nature is sometimes, I am going to miss those. I come to the territory, miss those setups. There's so many to take. So hopefully you're writing them down or tracking them as well if you have the indicator. Now, good cut on Google. So PMH was just a massive rejection. PLTR coming into play. I'm looking at the 139s on PLTR. If it gets that rejection, Amazon just missed that. If anyone take Amazon, Apple, beautiful, 3 for 3. Back to break even for the week. Beautiful job. If you get break even this week, guys, that's a victory. This is by no means has this been an easy week. This week was designed to wipe you out. Right? if you are going to compare, the only competition you have is the older version of you. I'll take SPY right there. Okay, I'm going to SPY puts here. So if we can hold below here, that'd be great. No close above here. Okay, so no close above there. So SPY puts, my entry was near the bottom of that candle. That's fine. Just wanted to make sure I was there, but I want no close above here, and that's my first trade on SPY today. This is the one that I missed right here. So same kind of setup, get above it, get back below it. See if that leads us to a nice little push to the downside. All right. So you want to compare yourself. Hey, when I was trading 6 months ago, 8 months ago, in these kind of conditions, would I have been break even? Or would the market made me blow up by this point? Right. So if you can survive, that's a huge win, especially in destructive conditions. Okay, survive and advance is the motto. Okay, see if SPY can start to roll. Of course, we have that 750 we need to address. I want to see a decisive break below 750. I don't want to see no pauses. Okay, I want to see a decisive break below 750. We can start to rock and roll. All right. Take back 750. Take back ground. If you did take this manager quarterly, 750 can be a soft target for a scalp. Qs are still headed to the upside towards the VWAP. See if IWM can fall back under VWAP. I want to slice and dice under 750. Okay. So on the other side of 750 is where that double-digit gain lies. That 5-minute candle continue to push lower. If the Qs can start to go shooter, that would be great. Close back below that 9 to the downside on SPY would be fantastic. See if the Qs can start to slow down there. If the buying can start to slow down on the Qs. All right, that's 750. I want to see a break below it. So that's the point that makes or breaks it. It's either the 750 gets into the double digits or we bounce off 750 and knocks us out. Okay, so again, TP if you need to, team. Go, go, go. Create that separation. Up 7, up 8. Stay below 750. No reclaim of that. You might try to go hammer off 750. If that continue push lower. Okay, I like how the Qs are starting to go shooter. So if we can get that close below 750 on the 1, we're going to start to rock and roll. Okay, to the bottom of this support right there. Okay, I like how the Qs are starting to curl. Okay, go candle under candle now, SPY. And start to dump. Okay, up 12, 15. I'm going to take a majority off right there. Okay, at 16%. Thank you very much, SPY. Okay, holding runners. All right, stay below 750. Stay below 750. SPY, up 18. So don't reclaim 750 as we pursue this structural support. All right, so you can see, guys, this setup, we talked about it, we missed it. So what do? Do we rush? We just take the exact same setup. All right, so runners are up 29.30. Okay, I like how the Qs have that weakness. And now, if we're going to really start to roll, guys, TP where you need to. That's 30%, guys. We need to break this support. All right, we can't see buyers trying to defend that. That's okay. But we need to break the support. If you're trailing runners, where is your trailing stop? You choose. Okay, so 30. We gave you 30%, more than enough room to TP. So I already took my TP at 15, majority. Right now, trying to see if there's a little bit more room to the downside. So we are seeing some response right here from the buyers. Okay. I want this to fall off a cliff. Okay, stay below 750. Now that 15 is back and forth and back, inside on the 15. I like how the Qs, if the Qs can stay below the 9, That's a victory. SPY stay below the 9. That's a victory. And I want to see IW collapse under VWAP. Okay, I want this to turn into a broad market sell-off. All right. And then eventually, the next target would be these lows, shift the structure. Okay, if we can get past this this channel support, there's a big if. If we can get past that, we have this area to clear. If we can clear that, we're back in that weekly downside breaker. Okay. If you took that dollar signs in the chat, guys, 36%, beautiful job. You too, Carlos, have a great weekend. Amazon, beautiful. I missed Amazon, beautiful job, 6L. Right, but the main thing is, guys, there's an abundance of opportunities. I don't want anyone to come into the market thinking you missed something, thinking that, you know what, that was it. That's a lie. All right, there's too many opportunities. I want to see a nice close below this territory. That'd be great. There we go. Up 30. I want to see a close below here. Decisive close below here. Because we're going to start to, that is support. We got to treat it as support. All right? That we got to treat it as support. Until UPO. All right? UPO. Here. There we are. So I want no close below that, back above that 9. All right? Because I'm really interested in that complete breakdown. Okay? So I can walk away with a break even. Worst case scenario, no loss with those runners in pursuit of a nice position if this does break into the lows of the day. All right, because now if someone wants to buy those contracts, they have to pay 20% more than I did. So I'm in a good position. So I'm going to let that stop me out. Okay. You don't have to adopt the same thing that I'm doing, guys. But again, that's just what I want to walk you through. All right. Because someone might want to take the TP. Someone might still have the full position on. You might be looking at something else. You might be using something else to manage that position. But as long as the selling continues, persists, I'm there for it. All right. And now we have a new 15-minute candle. So I want this 15-minute candle. I want us to get below this low. That'll give me a boost of confidence. And you know where that low is? That low is right here. Okay. Now that 15-minute candle will be directional. Oh, no, it's right here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, if we can get a low break below that, what do we have here awaiting us? We have some support. So we need that slice and dice to that territory. All right, so let's see if we can break below that 5-minute candle's lows. The Qs are selling off, guys. See the Dow selling off here. See if the Qs and SPY can join the party. If we can get a slice and dice through here, okay, on the other side of here is when the 60, 70, 80% gain is. Between here and here is the 30, 40, 50. Here is a 50, 60, 70, possibly the 100. Okay. So be mindful. We are coming into some small support. I want that 5 to get knocked out. Go, go, go. I like how the Dow is dumping. I like how the IWM is below VWAP. Okay, slice and dice. It's going to take some time, guys. All right. Knock out those lows. You see this yellow candle? We need that yellow candle to turn orange. On the Qs and SPY. They just refuse. Turn orange. Okay, Qs went orange. So SPY, knock out those lows. That 5-minute candle's lows. That'll be a big win. Good. Orange for SPY. All right, the selling continues on the 5. See that selling bleeds into the 15. Okay, up 35%. We're coming into support, guys. Be mindful. We can anticipate some kind of response. So see if you can stay below this 5-minute candles open. That 15-minute candle is still up for grabs. The bulls are going to try to use this support to drive it back at that 750. So we want the buying to get absorbed. But as we're sitting here, guys, time is passing. As time passes, what happens to the contracts? Right, they lose value. All right, so be mindful of that. So you're going to have to adjust your stops accordingly if you need to. If you're in further dated contracts, yeah, you bought some time, so you're good. But my thing is, guys, you have to knock me out of this position, of these runners, to because I think this thing can continue to break. This is our last obstacle. This is our last area of support before the breakdown to the lows of the day. Okay. See, the one thing that can get us stopped out is a bounce here, back 750. That's the one thing. If that takes place, okay, runners get stopped out. In the event we break, okay, we get to 70, 80%. Okay, so very important. And we're going to keep watching that 5. We're seeing some buyers stepping in off the 5 off those lows. We want that buying to get absorbed. We want some absorption here. Okay, we want the bulls to be able to deal with that buying. So it gets bought up, push it back lower. Right, so there's a good area to TP if you need to, guys. That's 30%, less than 20 minutes. Less than, I believe, 10 minutes as well. Okay, that 5 continues to dump here. All the 5s continue to push lower. So slice and dice through 7, 4, 9, 12. I ran a trade Friday that made 400%. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good, good, good. Beautiful job, 6-0, 400%. Apple calls. Yep, Apple trying to go the other way. Amazon bouncing as well. New 5-minute candle here, guys. All right, so the line in the sand is, okay, knock out those lows. 5-minute reversal candle if we take out that 5-minute candle high. So we want these candles on the 5 to go from yellow to orange. If it goes to orange, that means the selling continues. Right now it's indecisive. It's up for grabs. Okay. Okay, one more push. One more little drop. Buyers are trying. That 15 minutes is still inside. Okay, I'll give it about a 10% stop at least. I'll walk away with something. About a 10% buffer margin of error. So see if I can sit through that a little bit. We're starting to see that buying take place on the Dow. Dow's getting bought back up. Small caps getting bought back up. Small caps are ripping. They're back above VWAP. SPY and the Qs are still up for grabs. Runner still up 14, 15. I'll give it until 10. So at least walk away with something. That support is strong. Okay, I'll close it out right there. All right, so runners, trying to give him a little room to see if I can get that 30, 40% plus return. All right, did see 35 there. So I did start to bounce off that support. If you're still in, manage accordingly. Now that I'm out, maybe wants to dump, but who knows, all right? But it's taking some time, so whichever way you did approach this from, make sure you have something to show for it when it's all said and done. Okay, that's our first trade on SPY. That worked out beautifully. First trade on Google initially worked out. Runners got stopped out in the negative. So let's see if we can get one more set up. Let's see Amazon. See Amazon wants to. We can revisit Amazon. And with that we'll look to maybe have one more trade and be done. If you're still holding, guys, manage accordingly. I'm out of there, which might be a good thing. All right. 750 round 2, 139 to 174, 25%. Hit wrong button and sold all. Meant to hold a few runners. Beautiful job, 25%. So it's just going back and forth there. So it's going to chew it up, even if it's right. All right. It's going to go back and forth. Amazon gave that double dip opportunity. If you took Amazon, congratulations. If SPY starts to dump below these lows, this is the only thing holding us between where we need to be, lows of the day, and where we are. The ultimate desire is to drive price all the way there. The only thing stopping us is the buyers here. So this is from a bearish lens. Okay, so if you take a look at it here, this is where we are. Okay, shockwave, you have the entry here. Your entry is here. So you can sit through that for that break. Your entry is not here. If your entry is right here, all right, you're in drawdown. All right, it's your job is to secure profit. Okay, your job is to secure profit. as soon as you enter the position, your job initially is you're not thinking about runners. You can have a plan for runners, but your first job is to secure profit. All right? If it works in your favor. If it works against you, to cut the trade. Once you secure profit, depending on what the chart looks like, right? Some runners go, some runners don't. Do you have to have runners? No. Can you just secure profit, walk away? Why not? You're walking away with 20, 30, 40% more than what you came in with for a short period of time. If you do decide to hold runners, then now you're basically unlocking a different series of questions. How are you going to trail? So if I had my trailing stop here, I do have this trailing stop feature off, right? But if I had the trailing stop there, I can choose through the indicator. Enable trailing stop after TP1. Okay, after scale out, I'm going to use swing structure. So if I use a swing structure, it says take the puts here, right? After I took profits there, I would still be in the position if I was using that type of stop. All right. So that type of stop is a more aggressive type of stop. So you can see here, if you take the puts there, your trailing stop is right here. Actually, trailing stop was hit right there. Right. So my trailing stop was in accordance with the swing structure. So you can see the indicator tells you to take the puts there, tells you to scale out there, and then if you have a trailing stop, you get trailed out right there. Because you can see here it says TS. TS means trailing stop. Because you stop it right there and it saves you that. Right, it saves you that. Okay? So that feature can also help guide you through these conditions. Okay? Again, guys, make sure to like the video. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. We have 190 plus people, close to 200 people joining us. And 1/4 of the likes, so 1/4, 1 out of 4 of the people tuning in have yet only liked the video. So 3/4 still have to hit the like button, guys. With your effort, we can do the giveaway. All right, with your effort, we can hit our ultimate goal and make an all-time high on our end and get that 200 like threshold. All right. So the last trade, of course, we took SPY to the downside. If you took it, beautiful job. If you didn't, don't chase. So we walk you through the exact area to take it, what areas to be aware of, understanding that this is support. If we can't continue to sell below this, that might gravitate us back towards that 750. Okay, so all we can do is react to what the market is doing. By no means do I know what's next. I don't know what the future holds. Right, but we're just reading what price is telling us. We're following price. Okay, that's all we're doing. This is the SAT shockwave indicator. This is my indicator. All right, this is my indicator that I've built. Helps you capitalize off the opening range. All right, especially if you're a system. If you're a trader who's looking for a structured system. It doesn't get better than this. I'm not saying it because it's my indicator, because there's nothing like it in the industry. All right, to use the opening range. If you're used to opening range setups, you're going to love this. It tells you the ideal area to enter. It tells you what your risk is based on what you selected. It gives you the dashboard. You can see all those trades. It gives you this dashboard as well. You can also add a trailing stop feature. It tells you when to TP. It tells you when to scale out. All you have to do is now follow it. That's it. Trading is not easy. There's no such thing as easy. If there's any form of simplicity, this is as simple as it gets. Right, but there's no easy. It's not going to be easy. Right? I can just tell you, do what it tells you, but there's still some nuance that comes with it. That's like a tool. The tool is going to be the tool. The drill is the drill, regardless if a handyman uses it, regardless if a foreman uses it, if a journeyman uses it, or if a toddler uses it. The drill is the drill. Right? So the more experience you have using it, the better you'll get. Okay, but it follows the opening range format, and it gives you the exact entry. It gives you a nice little tracker. It gives you the bias. So you can see the score right now is 50. So it can go either way. So like it says, wait for call trigger, put trigger. Put 5 out of 10, avoid. So as it approaches, we'll give you a grade. And it takes, before it generates a signal, based on the criteria you choose, it takes 10 things into consideration. Before it was 8, now there's 10 things. Okay, so it's a super indicator. All right, and you can get the indicator on the site. There's a quarterly plan, there's a yearly plan, and I believe most of the people who've had it for more than a month, okay, they should already be in the Golden Goose Club. The Golden Goose Club means you've already got your ROI for the indicator. Not a lot of things in our industry give you the ROI. All right, the primary thing is not for me not to beat the ROI, is to 10x, 100x the ROI. That's how everything is designed. Okay, over deliver. Over deliver is the standard. Okay, how we doing on Google Meets, guys? How we doing? Who's done for the day? Okay, TOS is lagging. AMD 500%. Wow, that must have been a possible swing. Alexa, I know you've been crushing AMD. The last 2 callouts you had on AMD were just absolutely.
Yes, yesterday I bought puts for $12 and it went down to like $1.50 at like 4 o'clock. I'm like, you know what? I have 26 puts I'm gonna hold and let's see what happens tomorrow. I'll just take a chance. And this morning, it went just like crazy.
So you don't have to trade today. You're just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, I did trade a little bit on other tickers, you know. But,
yeah, wow, that's a nice drop.
Yeah, I was like in loss of $25,000 almost last night, and this morning I made up that $25,000.
Wow,
you know?
beautiful. Happy
It was a
Friday.
big risk, but I guess it was my favorite, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes big risk, big reward.
Yeah.
Big risk, big reward. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah, AMD. Congratulations to Alexa on AMD catching AMD. SPY continues to, again, 750. All right, so during this next 30 minutes, all right, it's gonna be a fight over 750. Okay, we're gonna continue to get to 750, get below it, get above it, get below it. If you were watching, maybe I think it was April, there was one level, if you guys recall, one psychological level that we revisited for multiple weeks. Does anyone remember that level? If you remember that level was 710. Look how far away we're from 710. We're at 750. Sometimes we forget how fast we're moving or how fast we move to the upside. We're $40 away from that level. 15-minute order drop. Yeah, that possible flag right there. Off those lows, nice long there, yep. So to give you some context, if I decided to hold through all that stuff, all right, so those contracts that were for 142, it would be at 170, all right? But this is the big thing. So if you're looking for that big gain with those runners, maybe your stop was at 750, a close above 750, but that would put you possibly very close to break even or slightly in the negative. Right, but now can we finally break here? If we can break there, guys, that's a big victory for the Bears. That's a big victory for the Bears. I want to shift your attention real quick to SPY on the weekly. All right, when you have these levels in place, you can already visualize, you can already see what the higher time frames are doing. You can already see what they're doing. Close this out. Okay, so we talked about that weekly candle being up for grabs all week. We had this historic run on the weekly chart. Here we go. So to give you context, so you know, so I can already get this read intraday without looking at the higher time frame, because I fully understand the key levels. Okay, so now you can see on the weekly, how many weeks of a run have we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 straight weeks. We have not had a 9 straight week run without any interruptions in a long time. I would say for the last 2 years, 3 years. You can go back and try to count it. Right, it's at least been 24 months. Possibly more, but at minimum 24 months. So now, this is our first candle on the weekly where we're seeing some selling pressure. Going into next week, this is some profit taking. So when you look at that weekly downside breaker, what you're paying attention to closely is if we take that candle out, that's why that 50% retrace the weekly was so important. If we take that candle out in the next few minutes, the lows of the day right now, they're important because now this weekly candle, it's already bearish, goes to an engulfing 3 down candle, which is more bearish. So now the question becomes, in relation to that weekly downside breaker, by the end of the day, which side do we close on? If we close below it, that's going to be a full body bearish 3 down engulfing candle. If we knock it out and start to wick a little bit and starts to push a little higher, it might just turn into, might still be a bearish candle, but it might try to turn into a doji type candle because that's going to set the tone for next week. Where we close in relation to that level, right, from a bearish lens, from a bearish perspective, we have a shorter distance next week to take out those lows. As opposed to if we wick all the way up here and we open up right in the middle of that next week. All right, since we're trading intraday, we don't care the upside or downside. There's no bias. So it's going to make our job a little simpler if we can open very close to those lows next week, because now we can trigger that weekly downside breaker and we can become directional. If we start to bounce late day after taking out that candle and we start to get a doji next week, if we open up, unless we get some sort of parabolic gap up or parabolic gap down, we're going to open up smack dab in the middle of this weekly candles range, and it's going to be a mess next week. And plus we have some red folder candles coming up as well, CPI, PPI, and that cycle comes back in. So the way we close in relation to that level actually will set the tone and determine the things we do next week. So that's why it's so important. These levels give you multiple things in one. And that level is right here. That's why you see this kind of response on the lower time frame. You're not going to get this kind of response off of any random level. And you're going to see this kind of response over and over and over and over again. And what you'll start to learn is these are the levels that the algo also takes into account in addition to other things. All right, and now we're starting to break down. So if you held through that, beautiful job. Okay, or if you re-engaged off of that 750, there's multiple ways to approach it. Good. Okay. Tesla just completely fallen off a cliff. Tesla was the first one to go today. Palantir continues to fall off a cliff. Potential bear flag on Palantir off that 9. If we get that continued collapse into the lows of the day, keep a close eye on that. Okay. IW can hold above VWAP. So again, lots of peekaboos on IW above VWAP. Right. Even if you take calls above VWAP, okay, that can be a quick scalp. You're going against the trend. You can scalp it into weekly upside breaker and be done with it. Okay, IW is the laggard in this case. So there might be, if we start to slide here, there might be another opportunity on IW to the downside. All right, so who's done for the week, guys? If you're done for the week, let us know in the chat. We'll do the end of week poll, per usual. Beautiful job. That's what we like to hear. Make the market pay. Make it pay for your time, and make it pay for everything else. Beautiful job, Jose. Make the market pay. Okay, NVIDIA, that was beautiful. Nice trend to the downside on NVIDIA. Tesla falling off a cliff. NVIDIA, look at this. For me, I got to clean up a few things over the weekend. Just be a little more sharp on my end. Just missing a couple of big opportunities. And again, if you do miss those opportunities, there's more to come. And that's what I tell myself over and over again. And it's not just to make myself feel better, but that's the reality. All right. And you see the reality. Sometimes you're going to miss some things, but when you do miss those things, what do you do about it? Okay. What do you do about it? All right. So again, my prime objective going to next week is being a little more sharp, being sharper, a little locked in. I've been staying up a little later than usual. I've been working on a few things after hours. Sometimes that does have an impact, but I'm okay with I'm okay at paying that fee. But you have to assess why you're a little bit slower. Why is your execution not as fast? It could be a multitude of things. All right. So even if there's the best week of your life, worst week of your life, subpar week, look for something to improve. Make it up. So you can continuously be trading under a process. All right. That's what the greatest athletes, the greatest competitors do all the time. All right. And we famously, Michael Jordan was known for doing that. He was literally known for doing that. What's the motivation when you win 5? You win 3, you retire, you come back. What's the motivation? So you'd make up things that people are saying that didn't even exist. So as soon as you start to get comfortable as a trader, you think you got to figure it out. All right? That's not a good place to be. You always want to be submitting yourself to the process, getting better. If you take a sigh of relief, say, I finally figured out the market is easy, and you start to tell yourself these things, all right, that's just ego. That's euphoria. All right, when you get too high, bring yourself back to the midpoint. When you get too low, bring yourself back to the midpoint. And that's how you survive in this game. That's the only way. Okay, so let's see what kind of response we get off this territory. If we can't hold that area, retrace, reject, we slide to the downside into the lows of the day. So the Qs are basically at the very lows of the day. It's been a hard-fought battle in this bounce zone. Okay, you can see that's why sellers are struggling to push it lower. Where's the selling pressure coming from? The selling pressure is coming from dead cat bounces, fading the top. A lot of stops are getting knocked out at the very lows. So if you try to short at the very low, you get stopped out, or you have to sit through a ton of drawdown. So it's counterintuitive. You have to take the puts in the face of strength. Okay. Okay, Amazon might come back into play. We'll take one more trade and we'll be done for the week. If you're done, be done, guys. Don't make me lure you to take a trade. All right, if you're done, be done. Anyone else having issues with TOS? Walmart 120 calls overnight, 300%. So Walmart, we talked about Walmart yesterday. All right, multitude of reasons. Rotation story. SPY 750 put 750. Wow, Walmart calls. So daily downside breakers previous day low. I keep missing Amazon. Okay, but it's all good. IWM was there for the taking as well. IWM was there for the taking. You have that gap. I see your message. Venus, all right? The gap she's talking about, all right? If you have your gaps, we have a tremendous trader on our chat who always updates us with the gap. The gap she's talking about is right here. This gap from Tuesday, May 26th. Okay, so you can see this is the gap. That's where we're starting to work into. So look how much time the buyers fought for this area. Bounce, 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 bounce. And now that selling pressure is starting to put some weight on this support. And that support happens to be that weekly downside breaker. Right? So if we start to get into the jaws of that gap, if you're playing TOG to, if you're playing that gap, you want to go TOG to G50. Amazon again came back in. Amazon, what a drop on Amazon. What a drop. Again, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's see if we can get to 5,500 subs. And we're closing on 5,500 subs. If you missed some of the trades this week, I do post those recaps daily to keep you up to speed. Make sure to go back and watch some of the episodes this week. Each episode has a lot of gems, guys. There's no telling on what we're going to discuss, what questions get brought up. So make sure to go back and watch some of those episodes. All right, there's no script. We don't know what the market's going to do. We just come prepared. We look to take advantage of the best opportunity, follow the system, and give ourselves the best chance to win. Okay, we're back at that daily downside breaker. So to give you context, that Qs are already below those lows. Qs are already below the lows of the day. IW is headed towards the lows of the day, right? But the Qs, we're seeing a little bit of divergence. So SPY needs to knock out this level, and then we go bearish engulfing on the weekly. If we continue to sell off, guys, I might have to take some Walmart swings midday, late day into next week. All right, high risk endeavor. Have to hold through the weekend, but we'll let you guys know if this continues. If what's going on right now continues into next week, keep a close eye on Walmart for a multitude of reasons. All right, if you can hold that 120 when it's all said and done. If you look on that daily, there's that 200 EMA. We reclaim that 200 EMA. All right, and we can see Walmart starting to push to the upside. The rotation might slowly be starting. Yeah, some people are having some issues with TOS. Lambish, you're not the only one. So looks like we're having some issues, guys. 2 traders on our team having issues with TOS.
Call them up right now, otherwise you're gonna miss your timeline, and they'll refund you because that's what they did to me.
Okay, did you hear that, Lambish? So call TOS as soon as possible. Take some screenshots, pictures, whatever, and they'll refund you. So that's the second time this week. Get in contact with support as soon as possible. Webull had some issues this week as well at some point in time. So it looks like a lot of brokers are having some issues. It looks like some clearinghouse issues. I'm holding NVIDIA Lottos. That's up 50%. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Tesla, yeah, Tesla. Tesla. So there was a few names we were paying attention to today, guys. Let's take a look at them real quick. While SPY falls off a cliff. Disney. Mickey Mouse. All right. Starbucks. Starbucks took out those lows in pre-market, so nothing took place during the day. Disney, no puts yet on Disney. Tesla. Tesla was a name as well. So when something has a setup on the daily plus shockwave, that is going to be that monster push. So Tesla, Apple. See if Apple can stay above that daily upside breaker. Still brewing. Apple for the calls or puts, whichever one does break. Okay, did initially push. Not to the same extent as Tesla. Scalp opportunity. That's about $2 some change, $1 some change push. And Amazon. Amazon, it's breaking intraday, right? But the big move on Amazon has not even taken place yet. So of course, from the lens of shockwave, nice push. But if Amazon continues to show weakness and starts to push into this 251.70, okay, 251.75 territory, that's when the real move takes place. And Microsoft. So Microsoft, of course, put trigger there as well. So all these, okay, we discuss in the AM. All right, so I haven't had any issues with Robinhood. Okay, so no issues on Robinhood. It was working for me earlier. Huh. So are we bouncing off of? Okay, bars are not going to go down without a fight. Double bottom off those lows. First shift, low grab. All right, the closer we start getting towards 11:30, 12 o'clock, we start checking out mentally. So if you're done, guys, be done for the week. All right. Now let me take off this trade tracker. You too, Firefly. Have a great weekend. If you're signing off, guys, at least 12 hours away from the charts. Same protocols. If you did 12 last time, 16 hours away. If you can do 24, that's tremendous. You're going to have to refuel as much as possible. I know it might not seem like a big deal, but you're going to have to refuel as much as possible because it's going to require a lot of energy. You don't want to be running on fumes when it comes to when it's Wednesday at 11 o'clock. All right, so refuel. Stay away from the charts. Take some time to review your journal, at least for 45 minutes. Look for some things to improve, sharpen up. Give yourself some credit in some areas as well. And we do the same thing. The only difference is next week we do have CPI, I believe. CPI, PPI. Yeah, CPI, PPI. So you guys know the drill. So we're back in that CPI, PPI territory. And we have FOMC statements. So mid-July we have FOMC statements, FOMC press conference with a new Fed chair. That's going to be very, very, very interesting. All right, and the CPI read is going to give us a lot of data. Okay, let's take a look at the recent CPI. I don't want the month over month, I want the year over year. Month over month is good, but you want to see the year over year. Now you can do the graph here. We don't need to go to 2022, let's just go to 26. Let's go to 24. Let's just go to 25. Okay. So you can start to see we're starting to push a little bit higher in the CPI. Okay, a little bit higher. We can see the last reading, 2.8. We came in higher, 2.6, 2.5. What you're trying to pay attention to is this. So we went from 2.5 to 2.6 to 2.6. All right, so 2.5, 2.6, 2.6. So we basically double topped at 2.6. So this time around, if we get 2.7, the actual reading, that means we're breaking out of that double top, continue to push the upside. That means we're starting to go higher because we're coming from 2.5, the year-over-year number. Okay. Because when we start to get into the threes, that's when it becomes difficult. All right, and that becomes the primary catalyst for the market. All right, so very interesting to see how that shakes out. Okay, here we go. Official engulfing candle on the weekly, guys. The bears have put a stop to this 9-week historic parabolic push off of the lows at the height of the Iran war. Wow. Amazon probably has a catalyst. Does Amazon have a catalyst? Because Amazon just decided to wake up. Right, so if you held through, all right, you can see starting to go. You had to sit through a lot, so you deserve to get paid for that. I'm glad that it did work out. But if you took your profits already, you still already got paid for it. Good. So historic run has come to an end. Okay, historic run has come to an end. And look at this. Are we surprised? All right, see, we got a retrace, reject, and reclaim there. Let me stand up real quick. Okay. I believe you can actually track the CPI on TradingView. So if you actually go, you guys have access to my watch list. If you go all the way down here, go all the way to the bottom, and go to economic metrics. If we have any people interested in the economic metrics. Huh. Did it get, must have. Alright, anyways, you can do, I had a whole watch list of those economic metrics. You can do CPI. You can actually do CPI, and you go to economy. All right, you can see the CPI. All right, so a little bit, you can track it there. Let's get back to SPY real quick. What a drop, guys. That 9-week streak has come to an end. Does Amazon have a catalyst? Any news on Amazon? Okay, Amazon won a $4 billion multi-year AWS infrastructure deal with Pinterest through 2031. Is Pinterest even a thing anymore? Or is it even that? Who uses Pinterest?
I used to watch it, get ideas, but not anymore.
No, it's not popular anymore, right?
Nah.
I believe PIN is also publicly traded. It might be ticker symbol PINs. Yeah. Let's take a look at a 12-month. Okay, yeah. So PINs. I mean, look at PINs. All right, so it's basically very close to IPO levels. Close to IPO level. Speaking of IPO, SpaceX IPO coming up soon. All right, of course, a lot of traders will try to take advantage of the thematic approach, maybe try to take some of those names related to SpaceX or space. All right, so if you don't trade IPOs, don't start trading IPOs now. That's a different type of trading. Anything can happen when it does trade. There's a lockup period as well, guys. So again, be mindful of that. The rule with IPOs is, okay, first we need to see where it's going to open up. Where is it going to open up? Give it some time. Is it going to be a ticker that becomes very popular in the options world? That's my primary thing. All right, we're day trading. We're not thinking too much about the long term. We're just thinking about shift to shift, day to day. Right? Because if you have that long term thinking while you're day trading, you're going to hold positions too long. Right? So now our primary concern from an intraday perspective for SpaceX, does it crack itself into our terrific 12? The tickers we watch all the time. What's going to determine that? At first, the IV is going to be through the roof. That's the IPO. But once it starts to cool off, what's the trading volume on SpaceX? What's the spreads like? What is it trading at? Is it going to be trading very close to that Microsoft territory in the 400s? Is it going to be something very close to maybe between Microsoft and Meta, 600s? Is it going to be the 300s? That's very tradable intraday. So that adds another name once it cools off a little bit, right? If it becomes a name we can add to our rotation. Another IPO, of course, is Anthropic. Okay? So that's another name as well. So we might be having, within the next 9 to 12 months, we might be having some new names in the rotation. All right, we just have to give them some time. Let them cool off a little bit. See how they're trading in the options market. And if there's an opportunity there, guys, why not? If the spreads are fair, if we get a feel for how it moves, that's another name we can add to the list. Another opportunity we have to potentially entertain intraday. All right, so Yeah, SPC and Mars. Yep. So Rocket Labs, a lot of those space-related names. Okay, so everyone's anticipating the IPO. And when it does IPO, we probably can watch that chart for educational purposes on the side screen, and you'll get to see how crazy it starts to move. All right, let me actually look up when the exact IPO date is. Okay, June 12th. June 12th, guys. So I believe next, not the coming Monday, the Monday after that. Is it? Let me see. No, Friday. So IPO next Friday. So next Friday, this time next week, SpaceX will IPO. So that's going to be a very interesting Friday. And when is Anthropic IPO? See if you got to retrace, reject off those lows. Okay, there's no official date on Anthropic. They're still trying to sort it out. But that'll be another big one as well. All right. That'll be another big one as well. Anthropic, the makers of Claude Code. All right, so if we do start SPCE, Virgin Galactic, who's interested in going to space? I have no interest in going to space, guys. I want to stay on Earth, even if it's for free. Okay, so here, look at this chart. So this is Galactic, SPCE, 12-month, 3-month. So you guys tell me, how's this stock doing? So this is basically just you're looking for a meme type of move. It's at $4. Right? See if and that's just a meme stock. Before that, I was just looking for any signs of life to push the upside with the SpaceX IPO. Before that, it's in the dumpster. All right, the IPO is around that 190 to 200 territory. It's at $4. So this is meme stock type of territory. You got Mars. Okay, this one's a little better. Okay, what else you have? You have, is it RKT, Rocket Labs? That's Rocket Mortgage. What else are some of the space names? Let me think. Let me look it up. Okay, nice retrace, reject out that weekly downside breaker. See if that continues to push the downside. Okay, we'll go down the list. So RKLB, that's what I meant to type. RKLB. RKLB, Rocket Labs, okay. So pre-IPO, before everything else, Rocket Labs, it's almost the inverse chart of what space was doing. You also have Lunar. Okay, LD1R. Okay, that looks like a cleaner chart, but look at that coming from that 136. You also have AST. So type these tickers down if you're looking to potentially. Okay, at 46 cents. Just because it's cheap, it doesn't mean it has value. And RWD. RDW. Red wire. Okay. All right, so there is a possible arbitrage opportunity, right? SpaceX IPO. But you have to understand that the IV on those names will be through the roof. Right? Okay, so do your due diligence. I have no plans of taking any trades related to space. I'll just wait for SpaceX. And you'll take this retrace reject if you did. Textbook setup into the lows of the day. Good, good, good. Riding that 90 made to the downside. And we are officially getting our first engulfing candle on the daily. And what a change of events. The 9-week streak has come to an end. And not only that, guys, we've been watching something very closely. That's why sentiment is so important. Right? There's something we watch very, very closely. And that kind of gave us the read. So moving forward, right, you can kind of start to see these things take place. You don't know exactly when. You can be a day or two off, bigger picture. But you can start to see, all right, the dominoes start to fall. The first thing we did notice is what? The fear and greed. We discussed that neutral territory. Right, 2 days in a row. Over a 30-day streak, that started to, the sentiment is a little bit neutral now. And then now we got our first engulfing candle on the weekly. What does this all mean? Okay, bigger picture. I don't want you to lose sight. Okay, I don't want you to panic. Because bigger picture, it hasn't even been a 2% correction. Okay, we'll take it week by week. Let's see if that can load up. Okay, we're going to adjust that gap. Apple is starting to crank up. See if that can load up. Okay. Okay, it's 11:30, guys. I'll be done for the week. That SPY trade was the last trade of the day. So just 2 trades today. Google worked in our favor, stopped out on runners. SPY worked in our favor nicely. Stopped out on runners as well. But in the positive, was babysitting Palantir, pre-existing position. And was able to take close to 100% on Palantir. So Palantir. So this is Palantir. The reason why I like that Palantir, right? Initially, I got a late day retrace reject off of that PML. So if I do this, I'll show you the setup from yesterday. That led to holding some runners here. So if you rewind, so it's nothing magical. Okay, so you see this PML retrace reject right here on Palantir. So as soon as we got above it, we started to get back below it. We started to chop around. Decided to take the puts in this area. Okay, take a majority off double digits and leave some runners on into the next day. And bigger picture, Palantir. Okay, there's a couple of things with Palantir. Look how directional we are on the weekly. Look how weak Palantir is. Palantir on the daily. Okay. It's coming off a major resistance area. And there's some fuel for us to continue to push lower. You can see. So rejection 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and then one more day to the downside. And we're going to close very close to that daily downside breaker. So I said, you know what? I'm going to hold runners there to see if we can turn to a nice push to the downside after profit extraction. And then just had to sit back and forth, even off the open. All right, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then we get the market starting to slide, and then you can see Palantir breaks below that daily downside breaker, provides the opportunity for our shockwave traders. So you don't even have to take it overnight because it provides a nice opportunity there anyways. And then we're able to extract there. All right, so Palantir continues to dump. Okay. And when you are taking those overnight positions, there's a lot of things you can't control. You can't control how the market reacts. Look at that drop, guys. Retrace, reject out the weekly downside breaker. Textbook setup. You can't control if the market gaps up, gaps down. There's a lot of things you can't control. So if you are going to hold overnight, unless it's a clear swing trade, right, let it be very, very light size. If you were in profit with the majority, and you want to see if you can hold a little more, just take a majority off. So if it does go the wrong way, all right, too much damage is not caused. All right, look at that drop, guys. Weekly downside breaker, retrace, reject. So today's game plan played out to a T. And those levels, those zones. Okay, how we doing, guys? How we doing? BTC down 5%. Hood down any further. Everything falling off a cliff. AST, SATS, PL, Fly, Lunar, Roll, VOYG. I put an order for SpaceX and changed my mind. Right. Okay. Robinhood lets you sell the same day. However, you can get locked out from buying IPOs for 60 days. Yeah. So with those IPOs, guys, it's very, very high risk. The IV can be upwards of 1,000%. Okay. So the IV, now that you know what IV is, the IV on IPOs can be upwards of 1,000% on the option side. All right, share side, if you're trading the individual equity, is different. All right, the only way you lose with the shares is if it goes to zero and you're still holding. All right, it's a little bit different, but from our perspective, I'll just let it cool off and we'll take it there. So Bitcoin falling off a cliff, SPY falling off a cliff. Look at that, guys. This is a textbook setup, retrace, reject. If you waited for that, congratulations. Yeah, BAC. So now, remember the rotation we were talking about a few weeks ago, guys? Right, bigger picture thinking. Now, is it there? Only issue is Dow's also falling off a cliff. So now, after all this money has been, all the profits have been taken, where is the money flowing to next? Where are they going to hide this money? Where is smart money going to park trillions of dollars now? They're taking at it. They're taking some profits here. Okay, this is just tiny. Okay, let's go to SPY real quick. Okay, you can see the SPY chart here on the daily. This is what it looks like. All right, so if you're waiting for that 2% pullback, our first test of that 20 EMA on the daily, that's coming up. So that 2% pullback level on SPY is that 745.24. Now we're starting to trade a little bit outside of this massive bullish channel that we saw starting in, let me get the exact time, around that mid-April territory. So since mid-April, we've been in this massive bullish channel, and we're seeing our first potential 2%, our first 2%, I believe our first 2% pull back off that all-time high. Let me just verify real quick. Okay, our second 2%. Okay, so second 2%. First one went about 2% some change. Next couple of days, we got a nice push to the upside. The difference is on this week, the weekly candle was inside. It wasn't bearish engulfing. We don't have as much selling pressure as we do this week. Okay, this is a hard fought 2%. The reason why I say that, guys, is because look at this. Okay, you can see these candles on the daily, right? They tried to push it lower, but buyers step in. They tried to push it, buyers step in continuously. This here is a clean sell candle. Right? Buyers are just getting absorbed. So there's not a lot of buyers. There are sellers and there's profit taken from the buyers. That's what leads to that kind of clean bearish candle. Very similar to what we saw here. All right, so we're getting very close to that 2% territory. If you slap the EMAs on the chart, okay, that 20 EMA is right there. All right, so next week, okay, if the market gets overly bearish, all right, I want to see if we can reclaim that EMA, that 20 EMA, back the upside. Okay. If it continues to dump, no signs of life back above that 20 EMA, all right, let it dump. We can take advantage of intraday. You can wait for the healthier pullback is at 5%, at 50 EMA. So mark out those different areas you want to get involved. Okay. So that's coming. Out on puts on spot. Beautiful job, Elion. What a catch. Right. Retrace, reject, we go downside breaker. Beautiful. That's a nice. Okay. Top to bottom. That looks like 100 plus, close to 100%. All right. This is what 100% looks like. Close to it. Do you have to extract 100%? No, you don't have to. You can extract what you need to extract. We're starting to see buyers come in at that TP3. Okay, guys, make sure to like the video on YouTube. I'm going to quickly go over how to join our community, how to align yourself with our tools and resources to put you in the best position next week to capitalize off the opportunity. Okay, if you're looking to do that, go to smartactiontrade.com. For those of you joining us on Free Trade Friday, all right, this is what we do every single day, delay-free, ad-free stream. All right, if you want to join our community, make sure to do so. There's same tier, just 3 different levels. The free tier, of course, has limited access, but the monthly tier, there's a trial. Use the code TRIAL30, and next week is a great way to start. So if you're on the monthly, if you're looking to upgrade to yearly, there's also available. You have access to Shockwave, you have access to the yearly, you have access to a coaching call, and you also save 4 months, okay, in monthly payments. All right, so one price, 12-month access, 90-day access to Shockwave. All right, this gets you started. If you're looking for that starter pack will be available potentially all summer. All right, so starter pack available. Take advantage of that. This gets you in the game. You have 12-month access, so at least 3 hours every day of live trading, delay-free, ad-free. Okay, training, the ideas, and let alone all the other resources available to you. It is the best bang for your buck. Indicators, that's also available, guys. Shockwave 15, that's available. Quarterly, yearly plan. Quarterly plan will be phased out. Okay, it's going to go to yearly. It's going to go to lifetime. So if you do make that purchase, guys, make sure to take advantage. For those of you who did get the starter pack, all right, make sure to send me your TradingView username. TradingView username, I'm still waiting for a few of you to send that, so make sure to do so. All right, next week is a new week for you to put yourself in position, okay, to capitalize off the opportunities. That's all you can ask for. Okay, all you can ask for is to put yourself in a position, or have the tools and resources to put yourself in the position for the opportunity to come to you. What you do with the opportunity, that's up to you. That's up to me. That's up to you. But all you can do is put yourself in position. And there's a good chance if you put yourself in position over and over and over and over again, every day, in front of opportunity, you'll get good at capitalizing off those opportunities. You'll get good at managing those opportunities when they don't work in your favor. Because when you have a system-based strategy, right, it's going to give you those opportunities every day. The ones that don't work, okay, paper cut. The ones that do work, okay, let me take that. You rinse and repeat, regardless of how much uncertainty there is, regardless of where we are, regardless of if we're at all-time highs. You have a set structure to follow. Okay, at minimum. All right, that's why it's so important to utilize the tools and resources. All right, we will do our recap here as well. Before that, let me take a quick coffee refill break. We'll do a recap. We'll wrap up. We'll take any questions, guys. We'll be done for the week. That recap will be posted later this week. Unfortunately, no webinar this week. All right, I'm jam-packed this weekend. Okay, so on the other side of a quick break, we will do the recap. If you have any questions, put your questions in the chat. If you are logging off, guys, hopefully you found value this week. If you're a striker, again, spend some time away from the charts. Do a lot of deep reflection. Give yourself credit, even if this is the worst week of your trading career. Don't let your mind or don't let your spirit be in the gutter. Don't start beating yourself up. Don't start doubting that. Right now is the wrong time to doubt yourself. Pick yourself up. Share with someone. All right, everyone in our Discord is very supportive. Share with me. Send me a DM. I'll do my best to speak life into you. All right, but just see what things you can extract from where you are and how that can take you to the next level. Okay, so again, make those adjustments. Even if there's nothing for you to give yourself credit on, you can just say, hey, you know what? I showed up every day. That's a win. I lost every day, but at least I showed up every day. I'm trying. That's a win. Okay, that requires something. That requires determination. That requires resilience to show up when you're losing. On the other hand, if this is your best week of your trading career, don't get caught up in the clouds. Bring yourself back to middle ground. Stick to the system. Go over your journal. No one is above the system. Okay, I'm not above the system. No one is above the system. What system? Your system. Okay, so make sure you do that. And next week we'll look to take advantage of the same kind of opportunities, guys. All right, look to improve something. Give yourself some credit on one thing you did great. You don't need to overhaul your system. You don't need to all of a sudden spend 12 hours watching 15 YouTube videos on new strategies. That's not going to get the job done. All right, everything's inside of you already. If you don't know the technicals, if you're still a beginner on your journey, all right, if you're in the community, take the course over the weekend. The course is available to you as part of your membership. Get yourself up to speed. Right, if you have any questions during the lives, ask questions. So all the tools and resources are there for you. All right, so we'll go over the trade recap on the other side. I'm going to do a quick coffee refill, and we'll be right back.
End of the week now. Market's still breathing. Agree to take your whole account if you let it. Friday ain't the day to prove something. It's the day to protect something. Ramp down Friday, keep the wrist tight. Small size, clean mind. Live to trade life. Only one bad play. Take the whole week. Slow feet, calm breath, discipline speaking. Ramp down Friday, market move slip. One bad candle, make a grown man quit. Take the base hit, don't chase that high. Pay yourself first when the week run dry. Seen traders up green by Thursday night, then revenge trade Friday. Now they count on the ice. A whole week solid, then emotion took real. Now they forcing every setup that don't even look real. Market got rhythm, gotta move at the pace. Friday got traps hitting all over the place. Low volume fake outs, lunchtime drift. One headline drop and your whole trade shifts. So breathe when you enter, patience you enter. Don't need templates just to feel like a winner. Sometimes the best trade, really no trade. Close the laptop, protect what you made. Cause the market gon' open again Monday morning. No need for heroics when the candle's still forming. You already won if you stay disciplined. Consistency worth more than adrenaline. Ramp down Friday, get the wrist tight. Small size clean mind, lift your trade tight. Don't let one bad play take the whole week. Slow feet, calm breath, discipline speak. Ramp down Friday, market move slip. One bad candle, make a grown man quit. Take the base hit, don't chase that high. Pay yourself first when the week run dry. Everybody wanna screenshot profits. Nobody posts when they overtrade losses. Ego in the market get humble real fast. Especially Friday when momentum don't last. So cut the size down maybe half the day. Protect the mental, let the pressure fade. Cause overconfidence dangerous too. Especially after a strong week carry you. Green week cool, never serve the game. Only agree turn sunshine into rain. This game marathon, lot of quick lip. Survival first before championship. Trade lighter, think sharper, move wiser, not harder. A sniper don't spray every candle he see. Wait for alignment in our probability. So if the setup weak, let it breathe. No FOMO, entries off social feeds. Cause peace hit different when the weekend clean. No stress on your chest when the profits redeem. Yeah, some of the best traders know when to slow down. Friday ain't about getting rich. It's about staying rich mentally. Protecting your edge, protecting your peace. Yeah. Ramp down Friday, keep the wrist tight. Small size clean mind, live the trade light. Don't let one bad play, pick the whole week. Slow feet, calm breath, discipline speak. Ramp down Friday, market move slick. One bad candle, make a grown man quit. Take the base hit, don't chase that high. Play yourself first when the week run dry. Trade safe, trade smart. why I stayed up so late. Staring at them candles like they choosing my fate. Laptop light glowing all across the room. Trying to make a way before the rent come due. Had dreams bigger than the town I was in. But pressure make it hard just to trust within. Everybody see the wins on the green days. Nobody see the tears on the red days. Nobody see the losses I was hiding inside. All the nights I questioned God in my whole life. Would've quit 100 times if it wasn't for faith. Cause David had valleys before giants got slayed. It ain't funny how the strongest look calm. Even while you're carrying the weight through the storm. Used to think success was catching every big move. Now I know survival just mean knowing when to lose. On the red days, I still pray. God kept me through it, heartbreak. Walk valley, fought giants. Still standing, even through the silence. And one day, we gon' smile at all this pain. A special makeover from the rain. Yeah, grandma said, boy, don't let money control you. Care to matter more when the world don't know you. That hit different after blowing them trays. Humility came after ego got flame. See the market teach lessons like scripture do. Pride come quick when the winds get huge. Then one bad week make you question your gift. Like Peter in the water when the smoke is set.
Okay. We're back. All right, let's jump right into our recap. We're going to just recap the Google trade and the SPY trade. We're not going to recap Palantir. That wasn't part of today. So we had the two trades we took today were was Google. Let me pull up this real quick. Was Google. Ticker symbol GOGL along with SPY. Okay, those are the two trades. Let me just get prepped for the recap. This recap will be posted at 5 p.m. Eastern later today. So all those recaps are available on the channel. So be on the lookout for that. Let's go all the way back. Matter of fact, let's just clear everything out. And then go to Google. This is your trade recap for Friday, June 5th. On this day, we took two trades on Google, ticker symbol GOGL, and on SPY, S&P 500 ETF. We're going to cover both those tickers, break down the exact trade, break down the rationale, and how we manage the position. So first things first, the first trade we took was Google, of course. We were using the opening range break to capitalize off Google. To give you context, Google was still trading within prior day's range, and it was trading slightly below that PMH. So we did keep a close eye on this pre-market high prior to jumping in this trade, and we did see the market gap down and show some signs of weakness as SPY was dumping to the downside, as the Qs were dumping to the downside, as the Dow was dumping to the downside. One interesting to note was Google was holding its levels. So now the rationale or the idea was that if SPY can start to correct off those lows, there's a good chance that since Google didn't drop back below that VWAP, we have some room to the upside, meaning the calls to the upside. So that was the rationale behind that trade. So first things first, before we even take the trade, the first thing is we have to mark out where the risk is going to be, and that entry is going to be based on that clear break of this level. That level being at 371.15 territory. So we wait for it to come into play. We wait. Nothing there, right? So in this territory, okay, we brought it to our attention, but nothing there. We wait. And then boom, we take it right there. So as we take it to the upside right there, okay, the first TP, all right, we have to respect this PMH. If this PMH was not there, then we're more than likely have some room to continue to push the upside, but that was a great area for us to TP. So that initial TP came at 18%. And then of course, I put the runners on to see if there's any more room to the upside, right? The initial stop was all the way down here. Then I moved that runner to the midpoint of the wave, meaning the EMAs, the midpoint of the EMAs, to see if I can squeeze a little more out of it. And unfortunately, the runners went south and I got stopped out right there. All right, so stopped out right there on those runners for about minus 20-30% there on those runners. Couldn't really go after extracting majority right there to the upside at that 18% territory. In the case where I don't extract there, okay, then I possibly get stopped out all the way down there, but I wouldn't move my stop. If I didn't TP, I would not move my stop. Okay, if I didn't TP there, I'll keep the stop the same to see how it plays out. Right, but as soon as I TP, I like to move that stop to secure some more of that initial, to secure more of the initial profit, because you don't want those runners to start taking too much of what you made already. So second trade was, of course, let's see how Google played out actually. Let's continue to play it. All right, so in the case, it eventually gets stopped out. All right, so our stop was a good stop there. So now the next trade was SPY. So SPY, again, SPY showing some weakness. SPY, of course, we had our levels marked out. SAT key level gives us the guidance. The initial trade setup on SPY, this was of course the initial breakdown, takes out the TP1, plays out beautifully. This opportunity here, all right, this opportunity here comes into play. The one thing was with this opportunity, I took the trade. Unfortunately, couldn't get filled. Is it frustrating? Absolutely. It is frustrating when you don't get filled. But what do you do with that frustration? All right, and interestingly enough, we're at that 750 psychological level there as well. So the one thing I didn't want to do with that frustration is make any trading decisions fueled by my frustration. So I had to let it go. So again, this trade was right there. Some of our team members took it to the downside. They did a great job on being right there, getting filled. They took it to the downside for a nice TP1. So I missed that trade. I said if it can come back into it, get back above 750, peak above it, I might entertain it. If it can't, that's fine. I'll just wait for it. So again, it came back into play in this area right here. So when it comes back into play, I'm looking for the same exact entry model. Okay, even though I took this trade but couldn't get filled, I'm going to look for that same setup there and not chase it down here. All right, so I'm going to look to do the same thing, and I want it to play out basically the same way. So in this case, we wait, we fall back under that level. As we fall back to this level, the primary thing we're paying attention to was the 750. So we're saying that if this 750 if we can break below 750, that's going to give us that nice double-digit opportunity. All right, so that's going to get us in the teens. If we can break below there, we can take it into the teens, and we can have a first TP there. If you're going to TP there, that's up to you. All right, so of course we get that 750. We pass that 750. We take a majority off. And then now we have room to push into this area. As we're pushing into this area, those runners up are up about 30, 35%. But now the question becomes, of course, I would like to play this break, but how much of my runners am I willing to risk in pursuit of playing this break? Right, so maybe I'll give it about that 10%, 15% territory of those runners. If we come back to 750 territory, can come close to it, I'll get stopped out. The cool thing is our stop out, our trailing stop lines up beautifully with this indicator stop, trailing stop, and eventually get trailed out for a positive return. So again, I'm out of the trade. So in this case, we know the market wants to continue to push lower, but we just don't know when it wants to break, because we have to treat this area as support until proven otherwise. To give you some context, you're up 35% by this point. A bounce like this, if you don't plan to sit in it, right, a bounce like this eliminates or evaporates about 25% of that 35%. All right, so that's why it's so important to TP. So what I would advise, if you're a brand new trader, if you're still trying to find your way, I wouldn't even utilize runners. Don't utilize any runners. So runners are in the second phase of your journey. Just TP, take a majority off, be done, treat it as a scalp. Get those wins under your belt. All right, very, very important, because when you don't and you're sitting in full position and it goes up like that, you can really start to get emotional and you can really start to do more harm than good. So again, we're paying attention to see if that can follow through and break. And eventually, of course, we have the luxury of hindsight, it eventually breaks. All right, from a directional standpoint, we were right. From a time standpoint, we were right as well, but I just don't want to give back too much of that territory. And now the big thing was we became directional to the downside, and the sell-off continues. So that's your recap for today. And then the lesson for today is going to be this. Very short lesson, guys. The lesson for today is going to be this. The importance of being patient in the face of frustration. The importance of being patient in the face of frustration. And we saw it today. I had to put that into practice today, right? So again, the cool thing is with the live streams, all right, it's not just, hey, you know what, I call the level and just kind of see how it plays out and take credit for it. No, I have to take it. So I truly believe in the setups, but I have to take it myself as well, right? So this was illustrated beautifully on SPY. SPY came into an area, came back into it, and broke back lower, all right? When it came back into it, of course, couldn't get filled here. So the question I have for you guys, if you're watching this, is what do you do in the face of frustration? All right, what do you do in the face of frustration? It's very easy to mask and make ourselves look good when we're winning, okay? But sometimes when you get frustrated, your true self comes out, and it gives you an opportunity to make those proper adjustments, all right? We don't know what's inside of an orange until the orange gets squeezed, All right. Once the orange gets squeezed, we know, okay, this is a legitimate orange because orange juice is coming out. All right. So when you get frustrated, what happens is the true elements of your essence from a trading perspective start to come out. So it's an opportunity for you. All right. So what I recommend is if you do try to get it filled in this area, and for some odd reason you just can't get filled, maybe it's a broker problem, maybe it's a slippage, whatever the case is. All right. In that time, I want you to consciously tell yourself, I'm not going to take a trade out of frustration. I want you to consciously stop and say, I'm not going to take a trade because out of frustration. If it goes, let it go. The reason why I tell you to say let it go is because the system that you trade will present other opportunities. It's not worth chasing it because you're planning to pay X amount here, right? If you start to chase it there, that plan is out the window. You have to have a new plan. All right. So very, very important. The things you do in the face of frustration will determine if you survive or not in this game. All right. So on that note, guys, we're going to wrap it up. This is the last recap of the week. Hopefully you enjoyed all the recaps. We're going to continue to do these recaps. We'll see you on the next one on Monday. Stay safe. Have a beautiful weekend, and God bless each one of you. Okay, so that recap will be posted on the channel, guys. Again, so that same thing, the importance of what do you do in the face of frustration. Look at that, guys. Retrace reject continues to dump here. Let me just take this off. And what a sell-off. Anyone holding those puts off that weekly downside breaker, if you are enjoying your Friday. All right. I have no horse in the race. Got me in the groove. Yep. Ramp Down Friday. Yeah, that's a theme song for Friday. Right. Ramp Down Friday. That's the theme song for Friday. Okay, who's done for the week, guys? If you're done, let us know. Let us know. Don't chase, all right? The market is dumping. We talked about some of these scenarios playing on a pre-market. So it's in your best interest to tune into the pre-market prep stream. Right? There's no bias in the pre-market. We just say, hey, whichever thing takes place, we'll be there for it. It's been a long week for me. Maybe it's been a long week for you guys as well. All right, so make sure you cruise into the weekend as strong as you can. All right. What the market does, if you're not in it, don't let it entice you to jump back in. That's a testament to your risk management. Turbo. Good. Still growing the week. Protect your week. It's a weekly downside breaker. So next week is going to be interesting. So next week, you don't want to miss next week. Okay, next week is going to be very interesting. It's going to be filled with opportunities. All right, because we might be directional to downside already. So we're just starting to pick up here. Look at Tesla, guys. Tesla just said good night. All right, so one adjustment I can make is, those names that have that daily setup, I got to emphasize more on those ones. All right, so the daily setup, the names from this morning, guys, the ideas from this morning. All right, watching those names in particular, because the Tesla puts below that level plus shockwave. If you're not used to trading intraday names, if you're not used to trading intraday based off higher time frame levels, shockwave is a momentum indicator. So if there's momentum behind it, it can start to break. You can see shockwave. You can see Tesla there. So 417.16 was a put trigger for Tesla. From pre-market, Tesla's all the way at $3.99. Okay, 17, close to $18 move to downside. All right. Okay, that's there for the taking. Okay. Any questions on YouTube, guys? Any questions on YouTube? We'll look to wrap it up around 12:15. We'll do the end of week poll. Yeah, beautiful swing trade on Bank of America. Lynn and Sancho took the puts early this week and nailed it to a T. So congratulations, Sancho. As always, you're really good at catching those puts at the very top, especially with those swings. Right? And remember, guys, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong, but when you're wrong, don't be wrong for long. Right? But when you're right, really right will always make up for not wrong for long. That's just the way the game goes. All right? You're going to be wrong. Don't be wrong for long. But when you're right, if you're really right, it's going to cover all the wrongs. That's basically what risk reward, the essence of risk reward is that. Look at Tesla, guys. Any closing thoughts, guys, before we wrap it up? Any closing thoughts? NASA is evacuating space station due to air leak. Can shockwave be used for swing trades? It can be a way to enter a swing trade, but per se the signal is for intraday. Primarily used for intraday. But it can turn into, you can modify it into a swing trade type of setup. And let's explain. So say there's something you're seeing on the daily. Like for instance, this Tesla example. All right, so you see something on Tesla to the downside. All right, and the argument that I'll make, guys, is some of these intraday opportunities are going to outperform swing trades. All right, so what I mean by that is because when you have a swing trade, you have to take into account, right? You have that, unless it's leaps, you have that in the back of your mind. All right, so for instance, Tesla, of course, in this case, we have a higher time frame level, and then shockwave gives us that entry based off of that. So let me show you on this chart here. It'll be better here. So you have that market awareness. You have the SAT key levels. Tesla, you can see, it breaks below that daily downside break. It breaks below PML. Breaks below what as well, guys? There's an alert. Okay, that alert didn't even go off. So I had an alert there on Tesla. Didn't go off. All right. So let's put shockwave here. All right, so bigger picture idea, you can see shockwave tells you to take the puts at 411.72. We're at 400. So you're not going to catch this part of it, but you're catching this part of it. You're catching the momentum breakdown.
Hey, George?
Yep.
How do you, the more opportunities waits tomorrow, how do you take off that label?
Oh yeah, so what you want to do is go right here and take off the pane labels. So you click pane labels and it will come right off.
Okay.
So try that and it should take that right off. I see it right there. It says more opportunity waits tomorrow. Yep.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have that in there just to ensure that people, they don't continue to overtrade. Just a friendly reminder. So out the box, it does say that, but you can take that off. Mm. Yeah. So Tesla. So again, a bigger picture. Daily. It's inside on the day. Breaks below these lows. Right. There's a way for you to take it off these levels. Of course, it's easy to say it in hindsight because it worked out, but in the reality of the situation is, if you have shockwave, then it's more practical because this is something you follow, a system you follow, then it provides you that opportunity, right? So if you're able to catch this, right, this kind of trade intraday, you probably don't have to take a swing, right? You can swing the profits if you like. If you plan to swing it, you can take the further dated contracts and then try to see if you can swing those contracts, right? But it's almost like you have to have that perfect setup intraday fall with shockwave to turn it into a swing trade. But I would say use it intraday. And if something goes 3R, 4R, 3R, 4R, right, that's going to outperform, in my opinion, a swing trade. So, for instance, would you rather, think of it like this. Would you rather get a 100% return, hold for 2 months, or a 50% return, right, and hold for 20 minutes? Right? So, depending on how you ask that question, that's going to determine what kind of ideas you want to look for. So to me, give me less now, right? And at a faster pace, I can do it more frequently than more later. If I'm trying to get more later, I'd rather buy more time and just kind of not even paying attention to it. Just have the levels marked out, have the alerts marked out, and not try to babysit it because I'm trying to give it some time to develop. But if you answer the question the other way, all right, then you want to start to look for those, possibly lean towards swing trading being the big chunk of your trades. And for swing trading, the conditions have to be ideal. Right? For us, day trading, the conditions don't have to be ideal. We just have to know when to trade, when not to trade. But there's going to be something for us intraday every single day. Swing trading every day is not the day to swing trade. Right? So everything has to be lined up. So hopefully that answers your question, Fred. Okay. Okay, today was a day that should have held longer. Let me be known. You should longer losses take profit exactly when it's supposed to. Don't let day like this change 100%. Days like this are very easy to make you change your system. Yeah, exactly. It's tough, right? So it's like, just think of it like this. For swing trades, it has to be sunny, 75 degrees, nice little breeze, perfect conditions, perfect weather, right, for things to work out. The last trade on BAC to the downside, 25%, down for the week. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. You've been crushing BAC. Lynn, any other questions, guys, before I wrap it up? If you're done, guys, put done for the day in the chat. Done for the week. Done for the day today is a done for the week. We'll do the end of the week poll. All right. SPY continues to dump. Okay, if you are looking to trade, if you're a trend trader, 9 EMA, bear flags. Okay, the usual suspects. I think someone's usual suspects. I can hear the background. Green and no trades. All right, so that's how you did, guys. I'll leave that poll for 24 hours. Green week, that's the goal, guys. Anyone hitting their green week, their first green week. Right, if it's your first green week, we want to congratulate you. All right, it's not easy. Right, that's the goal. Every week is to provide you the tools and resources. Do my part to get you as close as possible to green. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's doable. My first green entire week, every day green. Beautiful job, Devil Dog. Tremendous, tremendous job. And especially on a week like this. Okay, this is a hard fought green. First green week by paper, that's awesome as well. That's a big, big confidence booster. Going back live next week. Tremendous job, John. And if you don't mind me asking, where are you doing your paper? Is it on TOS? Is it on TradingView? Okay, on Schwab, okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job. Get the reps in. And you can do it, guys. You can do it. May 26 gap closed. Look at that, guys. There's not going to be a gap that we're not going to be aware of. I don't think ever, because of Elian's tremendous work. Right? She's always going to be make us aware of the gap ups, gap downs, historical gaps. So we do appreciate that every day. Are you using Delta for your stops? No, I don't use Delta for my stops. I don't use Deltas for the stops. So when I'm trading, I'm not really paying. When I'm intraday trading, I'm just looking to take advantage of the move the underlying is making. So I'm not too overly concerned with what the Greeks are. Right? Only primary thing I'm paying attention to is the spreads and the IV. Right? Because what I'm trading is I'm trading that the What I'm betting on is the contract's gaining value as the underlying goes in my desired direction. That's the whole trade. But if you're looking to trade something where you're looking to take advantage of the Greek-based strategy, right, arbitrage from that standpoint, then you can take a look at that. All right, but you do have to be aware of what those are. Look at that, guys. Chuck is up 2,300%. Right, so 2,300% for the puts, guys. That's probably a daily downside break. This could be possibly a daily downside. Would say maybe. Let's see. You had that perfect entry there. Be tough. So maybe some swings for Chuck. That can probably be upwards of 300 to 500% from there to here. But if you take the further dated contracts, like 4 or 5 points out the money, then the 1,000% is possible. So aggressive selling here. IV just tells me if the contracts are overvalued, undervalued in relation to the HV. I'm stuck in calls around. Oof. If you don't mind me asking, what percentage are you down, Shazavi? Or Shazab? Maybe you can get a relief pop here. Last minute, we're coming to this bounce zone. But once we broke below that 750, down there, it was just, we initially got that pop and then that slice and dice right under that territory. 50%. Are they like size to zero, or you just couldn't get out in time? It's tough. Oh, stop loss canceled. If you've committed to riding it out, right? Best case scenario, maybe you get a bounce off of there. Best case scenario, but no guarantees. All right. At least the gravitation back towards that 9 on the 5, but this is aggressively dropping. Right, trending to the downside. Are they zeros? It's a race against the clock. So the only thing I can see here, guys, between where we are now, the only key level that I have is it's a huge runway. Because now we are possibly getting back at that weekly downside target. So the only relief could be maybe here. If there's no relief here, right? If there's no relief here, we can start to get towards the 740s, low 740s. You have that 745 right there. You have this key zone possibly there. So C buyers can pick it back up. Best case scenario. So 745 hold. Try to get a little bullish activity here within the next, between now and maybe 1. But once the clock gets past 1, it starts to really accelerate. The data starts to really accelerate. So keep a close eye on that 745. And it depends if you're looking to close it for a lesser loss, or if you're set on seeing some sort of appreciation. So it just depends on how the approach is. At this point, it might just be, just close it for a lesser loss. It just depends. Okay. Again, guys, folks on YouTube, smash the like button. Let's get the likes up. We're stuck at 84. Smash the like button. Let's get to 150 before 12:30. We'll do that giveaway. 12:30, 6 minutes away. Beautiful job for news. Google stable. SOXS is looking good. May swing into space rotation. Good, good, good. So trade of the day might be Chuck. So Chuck, congratulations. 2,500. Oh, is it that bad? Sorry to hear, brother. I know sometimes it's tough. Down. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Maybe take some time. All right. Sometimes there's nothing. You know, whatever I say is going to fall short. All right. And when we're in that situation, the last thing we need is someone telling us what to do. So I don't want to do that, because I want to respect your experience and what you're going through. So would you say probably, again, it's up to you if you want to share, would you say this is probably a hard time, is a pain point, the max pain point is cutting those trades, over trading? If you were to give someone some insight from your experience, what would you boil it down to? And is that all on options? What system is that? Is that a pre-built system? Did you build this? I know you have a background in software. P&L, is that 38 trades today? 38 trades today? So is that something that's what you usually do? That's your system? You're a super scalper? Yeah, all you can do is slow down. So the question is, it's a serious meeting you have to have with yourself, right? Is you already invested all this capital into the endeavor. Okay, this recent experience is here. That's the reality of the situation. And is this something you want to continue to move forward with? Or is this going to just continue to go from 7 to 8 to 1? All right, so the one thing you can do is you can stop. But the question is, when you do stop, when you do take that time, is what can you do from here? And how can you at least get to that next milestone? All right, they're not focusing too much on recovering everything. That's too much to wrap your head around. But what is, it's just a small milestone. It's almost like learning to walk again. And try to build those good habits, try to work your way back up. But if you try to make everything back within a week, within 2 weeks, within a day, within a month. Right? You're going to have to over leverage, and you can double the size of the hole. It's tough. Just reach out to me if anything I can do. I don't know. I mean, it's tough. Again, guys, it's the reality of trading, right? It can happen to any of us. By no means are you not intelligent. Are you not a good person? It's just an unfortunate situation, and all you can do is try to see what you want to go from here. See what you want to do from here. And there are some lessons that you did learn. There's a lot of things you did learn during that time. You have a wealth of knowledge of the things that work, the things that don't work. And if you decide to make that recommitment to the journey, right, you have to just give yourself some grace and take it one day at a time, one shift at a time. All right, and just rebuild that confidence, scale down. I mean, I had the privilege of working with some people one-on-one, right? So what you're experiencing is not in the industry, okay? It's frowned upon, but that's the reality. There's tons of cases where that's the reality. It's not to minimize what you're going through, but that's just the reality of trading, guys. It's the reality of our industry. Yeah, the theta, all that stuff. All right, guys, so I do like the thing that you built, though. I do like this thing that you built. I mean, the at least the good takeaway is you have skill set. You have a skill set, specific skill set. This is pretty cool. SPY continues to dump, guys. No buyers there. Continues to dump here. So no signs of a relief pop in this bounce zone. Everyone's just taking their profits and headed to the weekend. Again, guys, if you have any questions, put your questions in the chat. All right, per usual, over the weekend, look for things to improve. Look for some things to get better. And I'll come back next week. Look, take advantage of the best opportunities. Any questions on YouTube, guys? Any questions? I'm done for the day. All right. I'm done for the week. I need to give my eyes some rest. I've been staring at the screen late nights, working on a few things, so I need to at least spend some time away from the screen as well. Okay, what platform are you on? So no PDT rule, guys. How are you guys enjoying that? No PDT rule. Scale it slow. Worked for me in the past. Major losses. Finally understand my strengths and weakness and finding my sweet spot 100%. So you're not alone. All right. So you're not alone. Shizab. So there's a multitude of people here that can walk with you, or walk alongside you on your road to recovery. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? All right, so if you're done, guys, be done. We'll do the end of stream poll. Did I do the poll? I think I did the poll already. Okay. Again, protocol stays the same. Look to adjust one thing to improve. You know what you need to improve. Maybe sharpening up the TPs. Maybe reducing the frequency of trades. Maybe being a little more patient. Maybe being sharper on your execution. Right, so if you can identify the problem, okay, now what guardrail can you put in place? What mechanism can you put in place to implement, okay, the solution? That's going to be critical. A bigger picture, yeah, on the weekly, guys, this is the sell-off is impacting the weekly, all right? So sell-off is impacting the weekly. All right, so the weekly, we've been watching that since the very beginning of the week. Go back and watch episode 1. Episode 1 from this week, episode 2. So this is the first, right? This is the first sell-off, maybe some positioning before the meeting. Okay, we have an FOMC meeting, not this week, next week. Maybe some profit taking before CPI, PPI. So we're officially beyond that 2% pullback territory at exact level 745.24. That 5% area is right here, 720s. All right, so next week, all right, if this is going to be a clean drop, we're going to have opportunities intraday. We have a mechanism in place to capitalize off that. If it's not a clean drop, if it wants to go the other way, we'll also capitalize off that as well. As long as the movement is clean, if it's a clean move, if it's just momentum, everything's breaking, that's going to make our job simpler. Or the times where our job gets a little difficult is when it's indecisive, it's chopping back and forth, trappy. All right, so it's going to be very interesting to see what does take place on Monday. We can gap down, we can gap up. But as of now, the Bears are in full control. They have put a stop to this 9-week winning streak by the Bulls. Okay, since the board's about to wrap up, okay, let's just see how many weeks. The last time we had a 9-week run. The reason why I say this is historic, all right, one of the greatest runs we've seen in modern history, is because of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 consecutive weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has already outperformed the tariff fiasco last year recovery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this goes back to 2023. Okay. On top of that, let's see before that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I don't see anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going all the way back to 18, guys. This is pre-COVID. Okay, this is before COVID, BC. 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This is a different era. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so going back since all the way to 2016, over 10 years, a decade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. So this is the second time in the last 10 years. This is the second time in the last 10 years that we saw a 9-week clean move to the upside. So what I mean by that is the weekly candle opens up, and by the end of the week, we close above that weekly candle. That's the raw definition. So we only seen this instance twice. Today, in 2023. We have not seen this before, okay, at least for a decade. All right, so that this kind of move is a once every 5 years, maybe once every 7 to 10 years kind of move. And then now we're seeing some profit taking. So now what happens next week will be very interesting. So this candle on its own in a vacuum, we cannot deny this is a bearish candle. We can all agree on what this candle says. So now the ball is in the bull's court. Do they want to buy aggressively at that 2%? Or is there more profit taking and we drop to that 5% territory? right? You're going to find all that out next week. So make sure to join us next week, Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, all the way to 12:30, 1 o'clock, at least 3 hours every single day, guys. Okay, so we're not going to miss it. It's going to happen in front of us. It's going to happen right in front of our eyes. All right, so that's what keeps us on our toes. That's what keeps this game so interesting, guys, and that's why I love this game. You never know what to expect. All you can do is just get yourself prepared. All right, so there's going to be some greater opportunities next week, so make sure to tune in. All right, any questions on YouTube, guys, before I wrap up? Okay, if not, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. As always, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to smash the like button on your way out. Make sure to subscribe. First-time viewers, we'll see you guys on Monday, as well as long-time viewers. My long-time viewers, the ones who've been watching more than 3 to 5 episodes, take the next steps, join our community, access all the tools and resources, okay, and elevate your trading. Delay-free ad-free stream, and a host of other things are available to you, and of course a key level indicator. So make sure to use the code TRIAL30 to capitalize off of that. Get your 30% discount, and we'll see you on Monday. On that note, guys, have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe, and God bless each one of you.
social fees, cause peace hit different when the weekend clean. No stress on your chest when the profits redeem. Yeah, some of the best traders know when to slow down. Friday ain't about getting rich, it's about staying rich mentally. Protecting your edge, protecting your peace. Yeah. Ramp down fighting, keep the wrist tight. Send all sides clean, man, live the trade life. Don't let one bad play, pick the whole week. Slow feet, calm breath, discipline speak. Ramp down fighting, market boot slit. One bad candle, make a young man quit. Take the base hit, don't chase that high. Play yourself first when the wheat run dry. Trade safe, trade smart. Trade safe, trade smart, trade smart. For educational and inspirational purposes only. Trading involves substantial risk of loss. Not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
Matthew 25.
Parable of the talents.
Let's talk stewardship.
Back to choir voice.
Well done, good and faithful servant.
Multiply what heaven entrusted.
Fear, bury the gift. What the Matthew 25, red letters spoken, kingdom parable, hidden truth open. Master called service be for travel abroad. Place resources in their hands before departing far.
To one servant,
5 talents to build,
to another 2,
according to skill.
to another 1 talent.
Measure was assigned,
Each according to ability at the time.
first servant went and multiplied quick. Second did the same with discipline, risk. The third got fearful, dug into the ground. Bury what was given, never moved around. See, the story ain't really on the cash. It's stewardship, purpose, time, and craft. What you do with opportunities in hand defines the fruit produced from the plant.
Don't bury the talent in the dirt below.
Feel they keep on never
Truly grow.
market rise.
Market rise.
Still control your soul.
Stewardship and patience over chasing gold.
5 became 10.
You be faithful.
Faithful with little now.
I entrust in more.
But the servant ruled by fear stood still. Never multiplied the gift or the skill. Young trader staring at the future's low.
Future's low.
Thinking every green candle guaranteed dough.
Tito.
Loaded contracts, hit no risk plan set.
Flip through the whole account, chasing internet flex.
Then he had
Well done.
good and faithful servant.
Then it hit deeper than surface work.
This faithful ain't gambling, bankers with greed. Faithful means protecting and managing seed.
In trading,
There's a difference clear
between wise execution and emotional fear.
one trader over trade.
Every move in sight.
Another waits patient for setup time.
One risks everything.
Time double overnight.
Another grows slow.
With discipline tight.
That's the parable inside the chart.
Patience and stewardship set apart.
is timeless. Multiply wise. Had you 25, 14, 30. Parable of the talents. Educational and inspirational purposes only. Trading involves substantial risk. Manage risk carefully. Protect your peace, your purpose, and your capital.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to love June. Thought every breakout was forever. Till the cycle taught me patience. Inspired by the market seasonality breakdown. I used to love June.
I met June back when the candles moved slow. Summer breeze blowing while the future stayed green glow. She wore red and green glasses, made her moving averages. Talking Fibonacci, whispered through the algorithm. Said,
Maybe that's a midterm.
you don't get caught sleeping. The market give it quick, then they take it every weekend. I laughed.
Young trader with a dream and a laptop.
Thought every breakout candle met the top pop.
Back then, AR was the new gold rush.
Every tickle brand and every dip I bought up.
NVDA,
In the heavens,
that's spike, kissing eyes.
everybody on the timeline yelling.
Buy that, buy.
June looked nervous when the yields went higher. News anchor screaming while the bulls breathe fire. She
Told me,
the star of glitters where momentum bends.
summer stars creep.
But it don't always trend.
I ain't listen.
I was chasing as it moved on the 1 minute chart. Revenge trading losses with emotion in my heart. Thought discipline was something old heads say online. Till liquidity swept me like through times at 9.
I used to love June.
Thought the market only moved one way. Green candles in the sky all day. Till the cycle came and took my peace away.
I used to love young.
Midterm winds started changing tone. Now the chart feel colder than before. But the smart money already knows. Then she showed me history written in the tape. Every 4 years the market changes shape. Year 1 shaky.
Year 2 full of stress.
Year 3 the blessing.
Year 4 excess.
Said watch the pattern jump, slump then pump. Q1 got the traders that can drum. Summer come around and the volume dry up. Post breakouts heavy, their accounts tied up. She pointed at her like a prophet in the rain. Said the strong survive, draw down pain.
Cause the election cycle got a rhythm of its own. Wall Street dancing while the weekend's gone.
I started seeing things different.
Stop treating,
Trading like a lottery ticket.
started respecting levels, waiting for reclaim.
Understanding every chart don't deserve a trade.
Now I watch spread,
Not just hype online. Watch bonds and volatility
with the dollar signs. Cause even in bullish times, the market breathes.
and every parabolic move eventually needs release. Respect the trend.
But don't worship the candle.
Summer got traps in designer clothes.
Patience pays more than prediction.